Dragon River Grand Emperor scanned the 1100 Great Eternity Immortals and said plainly, please those who brought pocket dimension worlds hand out your pocket dimension and walk under the God Artifact Heart Door. Dragon River Grand Emperor scanned the 1100 Great Eternity Immortals and said plainly, please those who brought pocket dimension worlds hand out your pocket dimension and walk under the God Artifact Heart Door. Before Dragon River Grand Emperor finished, 8 Great Eternity Immortal went off the stage and gave their small world to people. No one didn't know about the Heart Door in the Grand Heaven Domain. It was a low-grade God artifact. It was just a door, but anyone standing below it who lied would be detected. Perhaps only someone like Yi Mo, who cultivated the 3-birth chant, could go try. Because of this, those who tried to cheat handed out their pocket dimensions. Otherwise, they would be detected by the Heart Door. Dragon River Grand Emperor already gave you a way down, only an idiot wouldn't take it. After the people lined up again, they all passed through the Heart Door. Everyone standing below it would be asked, did you bring anyone else? Mi Yun felt lucky that Yi Mo didn't listen to her. Otherwise, things would be bad. Even with the Heart Door there, one Great Eternity Immortal was still caught cheating. This Great Eternity Immortal was very wronged. He didn't cheat himself. His sect forged a small world into a defensive bracelet telling him to wear it. They didn't tell him about him. He didn't even know, but the Immortal Emperor noticed it. It was instantly taken away and more than 10 people were scanned out of it. Eventually, this sect was kicked out of the city. They not only lost the right to go in but even lost the right to participate in the auction. Mi Yun carefully stood at the Heart Door, and when she was asked she replied without hesitation no. The Heart Door showed no signs of lie. Then she was scanned by a female immortal monarch. No problem was found and she passed. Yi Mo didn't know he had passed. He was still stealthed in the Truth Abyssal Mud. When everyone had passed the Heart Door, Wei Yifeng Immortal Emperor got up and said the teleportation formation will open now, everyone will be teleported to a set location. Then, 10 of us Immortal Emperors will tear open the dimension to the small heaven domain and send everyone in. As for the guests at the square, you can watch the process with surveillance formation. The Great Eternity Immortals got on the teleportation formation and piles of immortal crystals were lit up. 5 minutes later, a white barrier surrounded them all. Most of the people in Hongyu Immortal City were at the square watching the small heaven domain open, but there were exceptions. In a cultivation home with extremely dense immortal spirit Kai, a purple-robed man had a sunken face as he sat next to a huge immortal spirit Kai fountain. The fountain water splashed on the jade and on the nearby immortal spirit herb and was rapidly devoured. But the purple-robed man didn't feel it was a waste at all. He still frowned. After a long while, the purple-robed man raised his head and said, "Come in." A servant-dressed man came in. It was Ji Liang. "Are there any clues?" the purple-robed man asked. Ji Liang bowed. "Master, the Great Eternity Immortal wasn't found. This person probably had a masquerade on. He might be out of the city." The purple-robed man nodded. He spent many times the price of Truth Abyssal Mud to buy it, meaning he has a big origin. Which ordinary person would have this many immortal crystals to buy Truth Abyssal Mud? Before Ji Liang finished, the purple-robed man's face suddenly changed. He palmed down and the fake mountains and rocks were immediately pulverized. Even the water in the fountain splashed out. Ji Liang stood there calmly. I was wrong from the beginning." The purple-robed man frowned. "Master?" Ji Liang asked. The purple-robed man waved his hand. "We shouldn't even be investigating that Great Eternity Immortal. We should be investigating the Truth Abyssal Mud." Ji Liang was extremely smart and dazed for a moment and realized. They were too smart and instead made such low-level mistake. Anyone who spent this much to buy the Truth Abyssal Mud would have a major purpose. They wouldn't be spending immortal crystals for no reason. I know, this person must be thinking of using the Truth Abyssal Mud to forge a small space and let someone bring him into the small heaven domain, Ji Liang suddenly said. He felt his guess was very right. Only the enticement of the small heaven domain would make a Great Eternity Immortal spend that much to buy Truth Abyssal Mud. "Master, this person definitely appeared. Ji Liang is certain he isn't going to get in. There's the Heart Door this time. No one can evade it. If we go to Hongyu Square now we can find this person," Ji Liang said with certainty. "Let's go." The purple-robed man said and swept up Ji Liang, disappearing. When the purple-robed man arrived, the teleportation formation already activated. 1,000 people disappeared in the white light. At this moment, the surveillance formation screen showed a huge asteroid platform. The asteroid platform was clearly stabilized there. Before the platform was a faint grey mist. Some people guessed already that what was surrounded by the mist was the small heaven domain. The purple-robed man wasn't worried. He just landed on the stage and asked where the people who cheated were. The immortal emperor who stayed on the stage clearly knew who this purple-robed man was and quickly gave him a list of those who cheated. At the asteroid platform, chaos space flow blew past. Even with formation protection, the Great Eternity Immortals standing on the platform felt discomfort. But they had great hopes as they knew this definitely wasn't void that was in between heaven domains, this was outside. Feng Kong Immortal Emperor suddenly got up and said, "We're about to open the entrance to the small heaven domain. What you get in there, you get to keep 10%. If you hand up chaos item, you can keep extra 10% and receive other rewards from us." Suddenly, Feng Kong Grand Emperor's voice went cold. "You only have 3 days to stay in there. If anyone dares to use an spirit fruit or herbs inside, he will die." The last words made everyone shiver here. No one would be able to use the spirit herb within 3 days and not be caught. "Now I will be handing out flying snow pill." Wei Yifeng Grand Emperor took out jade bottles and gave everyone a bottle. Then Wei Yifeng Immortal Emperor continued, "Each flying snow pill will protect your spirit root for 24 hours. 3 pills will last 3 days. Crush the jade card and come out in 3 days or pay the consequences yourself." Then, the 10 immortal emperors flew into the void together and held their own formation flags. When the formations formed, 10 immortal emperor rushed their immortal essence and waves of terrifying Kai came. It split the mist apart and an obscure space appeared before them. As the immortal emperors released more and more terrifying power, the void finally opened up until it was 10 meters wide. "Everyone go in immediately, we can't last very long." 3 days later, crush the jade card to come back. Dragon River Grand Emperor roared and the 1,000 or so Great Eternity Immortals flew into the void fissure. Everyone flew in as fast as possible. The first person in would get the most things. Rumble, before those Great Eternity Immortal have completely gone into the small heaven domain, the tier rapidly decreased as though about to close at any time. Rumble, before those Great Eternity Immortal have completely gone into the small heaven domain, the tier rapidly decreased as though about to close at any time. Flashes of lightning fell from the void. A few Great Eternity Immortal who fell behind were blasted to dust without any resistance. Abandon the formation, this is heaven restriction lightning. We forcefully opened the stealth heaven domain of another realm, causing top-grade resources to be revealed. This start heaven restriction lightning. If we continue, there will be more people killed by lightning. One immortal emperor yelled. The other immortal emperors knew this too. They took back their immortal essence and the tier closed up. With this, Heaven Path couldn't sense the resources again and the lightning disappeared. The 1,000 Great Eternity Immortals sunk into the endless mist. Their spirit sense couldn't spread out, nor did they have any sense of direction. This was far from their expectation. They should be landing on a new continent filled with immortal wells and immortal spirit herbs. But they've been in the mist for 15 minutes and were still rolling inside. There was also frequent void chaos flow, some of which were very powerful and one could be swept away. When they sensed the decline in their spirit root, these Great Eternity Immortals immediately ate a flying snow pill. Even so, no one was willing to crush the jade slip to go out. Yimo didn't know if he was in the small heaven domain, so he still didn't dare to let his spirit sense out. Mi Yun didn't know Yimo was in her card and just rolled around in the mist like everyone else. The void seemed endless. After 4 hours, she couldn't see anyone around her, but she was still rolling. Yimo felt it was about time they were in the void, so he sent his spirit sense out carefully. Rolling mist appeared in his spirit sense. Even with spirit sense blades, he couldn't send his spirit sense further. Yimo knew he wasn't in the watch of Immortal Emperor and used instant transmission immediately. Mi Yun frowned. She felt there was some space ripples around her, but when she checked with her spirit sense there was nothing. Yimo breathed easy. He finally went in the small heaven domain. He changed his look and became a beardless middle-aged man. In this mist, Yimo felt his immortal essence slow. He knew this was spirit root dissipating, so he immediately ate a flying snow pill. Void chaos flows struck him, but Yimo didn't seem to feel it at all. These chaos flows might be able to sweep away ordinary Great Eternity Immortal, but it would at most leave a few red marks on his body. When he stopped, he released spirit sense blades. Other people wouldn't be able to extend their spirit sense for more than 100 meters, but his spirit sense broke out to more than 1 kilometer. Soon, Yimo decided the direction he was going in and sped up. In just 2 hours, Yimo was completely free from the mist void and saw the atmosphere. At the same time, he saw a few other Great Eternity Immortal also appeared in the atmosphere. He wanted to cross the atmosphere and land on the ground as quickly as possible, just like the rest of them. At the same time, Yimo felt slivers of invisible Kai invade his body that had the effect of corroding spirit root and immortal essence, but that Kai was immediately melted by the effect of the flying snow pill. They were probably the spirit-corroding demonic Kai. Yimo saw that he was the first to be here, but suddenly a figure appeared not far ahead. Yimo recognized this guy immediately. It was Yang Jiutian. Yang Jiutian looked at Yimo in surprise. It was unknown if he recognized Yimo, but he didn't look for trouble and just disappeared. There were too many good things here. No one would waste time here. Yimo chose an opposite direction to Yang Jiutian and left. He wasn't afraid of Yang Jiutian, but it was smarter to use the time here to find cultivation resource. In just 5 minutes, Yimo found a patch for level 7 immortal spirit herb. They were very high quality and aged. Yimo just took the entire place and threw it into the golden page world. The deeper Yimo went, the more he was amazed. This trip was too worth. This was just as he imagined, level 5 to level 7 immortal spirit herb in piles and even level 8 immortal spirit herb. However, Yimo hadn't seen any level 9 immortal spirit herb nor any chaos spirit item yet. Half a day later, the immortal spirit herb garden in the golden page world was a few kilometer radius. There weren't a lot of top-grade immortal spirit herb, but there were plenty of ordinary immortal spirit herbs. What shocked Yimo was that there was no dangers here other than the demonic Kai. There weren't immortal spirit beast. There were waves of space ripples from the distance. Yimo knew this was the other Great Eternity Immortals crossing past the atmosphere. This small heaven domain was vast and there weren't many people here, so no one fought over cultivation resources. Just when Yimo wanted to go deeper and find more things, he felt there was changes in his golden page world. Yimo looked in and found that a little less than half of what he threw in just then was ruined. A huge horse-like beast was ravaging the immortal spirit herb garden. Yimo was shocked. This horse was completely black but had a pair of golden wings. However, its head looked more that of a dragon. It was happily devouring and expanding his wings. Yimo was furious. He didn't know when such strange immortal spirit beast appeared in his golden page world. Luckily he noticed this early. If it was later, his bitter bamboo, chaos tree would all be eaten by this bastard. Yimo went straight inside the golden page world and punched. Rumble. In his own chaos world, this punch was more than 10 times stronger than outside. As soon as this punch came out, endless lethal force gathered and formed a lethal force whirlpool. Brother Yi, don't attack, I'm shadowless. What shocked Yimo more was that this horse actually spoke, but luckily Yimo heard it and stopped his attack. He looked below the bitter bamboo. The big ball like shadowless was gone. Yimo realized, this shadowless went from a pea-sized thing to a huge mutated dragon horse with wings. What is this? Yimo looked at the ravaged immortal spirit herb garden and almost raised his fist. Brother Yi, stop, that sounds disgusting. Yimo reproached ruthlessly. However, he was very bewildered why Shadowless changed into this state. Didn't those pretty martial sister call you Brother Yi? Shadowless' eyes were very innocent but thought, why could pretty girls call him Brother Yi but he couldn't? Boss, I mutated after devouring the Emperor Dao crystal, so I became like this. If I wasn't under the bitter bamboo and this was the chaos world, I would have turned to dust. Shadowless said pitifully. Mutated? Yimo frowned. He knew that the top god beasts would mutate. What level are you now? Yimo asked. According to Zhen Bingyu, Shadowless' second state was called Heaven Dao. Shadowless said carefully, I'm Heaven Dao tertiary stage now. The Emperor Dao crystal is too powerful. I need immortal spirit herb to stabilize my power after the mutation. I didn't dare to touch other things, but I saw you bring in some immortal spirit herb, so I ate some non-important herbs. Seeing more than 70% of the level 7 immortal spirit herb being devoured by Shadowless and the level 4 and level 5 ones were left untouched, yet Shadowless said he ate non-important immortal spirit herbs, Emo was furious. He kicked Shadowless out of the immortal spirit herb without hesitation. Seeing more than 70% of the level 7 immortal spirit herb being devoured by Shadowless and the level 4 and level 5 ones were left untouched, yet Shadowless said he ate non-important immortal spirit herbs, Emo was furious. He kicked Shadowless out of the immortal spirit herb without hesitation. These are the very not important immortal spirit herb you said? So this means those level 4 immortal spirit herb are very important to me. Hearing Emo's tone was wrong, Shadowless quickly ran up, boss, I can help you find more immortal spirit herb. Isn't there a Chaos Star realm? If you take me there I can definitely find more. Emo thought. He was planning to throw Shadowless out to find spirit items, but his face was still stern. I have a few things you can't touch in here, you know that, right? Of course I know, that bamboo, where I sleep. That small sapling, there must be a reason why boss protects it. Hee, I didn't even touch the yellow middle plum, how can I not know? Shadowless said sycophantically. Emo saw that was indeed the case and had less anger. He stared at Shadowless. You can touch it, but I'm going to tell you. If I see one missing leaf from bitter bamboo or you go near 3 kilometers of that sapling, I will skin you and roast you. If a leaf falls of itself, you can't blame me. Shadowless said in a shiver. Emo's face went cold. No matter what reason, if the bitter bamboo or the sapling is damaged, it's your fault. Even if one leaf falls off itself, I will roast you. Shadowless' huge body shivered and subconsciously moved away from Emo. He suddenly felt this golden page world was dangerous. If he accidentally wandered near 3 kilometers of the sapling, he would be roasted and eaten. His boss seemed a bit unreasonable. Seeing Shadowless was scared, Emo didn't keep threatening him and asked casually, you're from the dragon race, right? Yes, I'm originally from dragon race, but not really now. My bloodline mutated, I'm a mutated god beast. Shadowless said with pride. Mutated god beast should be quite strong, right? Emo asked plainly. Shadowless said with even more pride, not just strong, in the heavens and earth, the endless universe. Emo interrupted Shadowless gloating and said coldly, you're this strong but you only evolved one state after eating my Emperor Dao crystal. If it was some other god beast, he wouldn't just be evolving one state, right? Shadowless was lost for words and said after a while, boss, I'm actually evolving pretty fast. It's just a mere Emperor Dao crystal, it's really nothing. If I get 10s more, I think it's not impossible for me to evolve one more state. Emo almost wanted to kick this bastard. Did he think Emperor Dao crystals were just laying around on the ground? How long would it take you to reach Immortal Dao? Emo was very disappointed that the Emperor Dao crystal only let Shadowless progress a small step. About 30, no, 10, or maybe 8 of those crystals. Shadowless quickly changed, seeing Emo's face getting bleak. Then you can stay at Heaven Dao your entire life. Emo waved his hand and threw Shadowless out of the golden page world while coming out himself too. He got such a big immortal spirit herb garden. If he reached Immortal King, he would be good just concocting some pills and he wouldn't need to go around looking for resources. But now, Shadowless took out more than 80% of the valuable things. After coming out of the golden page world, Emo saw that Shadowless was like a dumb bird gazing around. He said after a long while, there's so much chaos demonic Kai here. This is spirit crippling demonic Kai, see if it would cripple your spirit root, if it does, I'll give you a pill. Emo said. Cripple my spirit root. This is huge nutrition for me. Shadowless shook and all the demonic Kai nearby were devoured by him. He then opened his mouth and demonic Kai of a tens of kilometer radius were sucked in. Emo immediately felt the spirit crippling Kai weaken. He didn't even need the flying snow pill now, the use of the 3 birth chant turned them into immortal essence. This is something good. Emo murmured and continued to refine these demonic Kai. Half a day later, Emo felt his power increase many times before remembering his main purpose here. He slapped Shadowless and said, "Hurry up and go find good things, we can devour these demonic Kai later." "Yes, yes." Shadowless woke up and disappeared from Yimo's sight in a golden ray. "This fast?" Yimo was shocked at Shadowless' speed and quickly chased over. Shadowless was no spirit-seeking beast, but this guy had a big appetite. He loved eating good immortal spirit herb and items. Another half a day later, Yimo felt a little embarrassed. Shadowless found him much more high-level immortal spirit herb. This included 100 or so level 8 frost wheat. Yimo knew other people could only stay here for 3 days, but he didn't. Even if they had more flying snow pill, they wouldn't dare to stay as their names were recorded. When the second day was about to end, Shadowless suddenly stopped at a damp mountain range. Yimo looked at this place in confusion. There was no immortal spirit herb, and the immortal spirit Kai was rather little compared to other places. Just when he wanted to ask Shadowless, Shadowless opened its mouth, spewing out tens of sword Kai. The nearby space made a cracking sound. In just 10 seconds, this damp mountain range was filled with dense immortal spirit Kai natural spirit hiding formation. Yimo called out in joy. Soon, he realized there was a top-grade immortal range below but was hidden by the formation. He didn't check it carefully so he couldn't tell, but Shadowless had the natural instinct to sense it here. "It seems you have some use." Yimo nodded and applauded Shadowless. Hearing this, Shadowless was very satisfied and clawed the earth a few times. Earth of 1 kilometer blocks were rolled up, and moments later, a white top-grade immortal range appeared before Yimo. If Yimo was to take it, he would have to go underground and then set up formation to take it. But Shadowless was more powerful, he just flipped it out. "Immortal range," a voice said in shock, and a figure landed before Yimo. Yimo had seen this person. He was a Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage. Yimo hid his power to Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary Stage. "The witness has a share, we can split this immortal range in half." The Great Eternity Immortal saluted with his fists. There were lots of immortal spirit herb, but compared to immortal range, those immortal spirit herb were nothing. Before Yimo spoke, Shadowless said, "Boss, should I eat him?" "You can eat him." Yimo's knowledge of Shadowless stayed at what he was before. "Hee, look." Shadowless opened its mouth. The Great Eternity Immortal dazed hearing what Shadowless said. He had seen immortal spirit beasts, but they were all sect guarding immortal spirit beast. Everything around here was controlled by Shadowless' mouth and swooped in. The GIT felt a powerful suction force and quickly released a blue light. Rumble. The blue light smashed with Shadowless' huge head, shaking the nearby space. The Great Eternity Immortal's face changed immediately. He blocked the attack, but he felt Shadowless was stronger than him. He didn't dare to ask for the immortal range and turned to run. Shadowless felt he lost his face. He just said to Yimo he could eat this person, but now his opponent got away. He chased over in a blur immediately. Yimo forgot to take the immortal range. He really didn't expect Shadowless was this ferocious after evolving. Even a Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage was no match for him. Wouldn't that mean he would have an equally powerful assistant? Thinking about this, Yimo rejoiced and threw out formation flags, moving the immortal range. This immortal range wasn't small, but it wasn't a very big one either. Yimo easily pulled it into the golden page world. This immortal range wasn't small, but it wasn't a very big one either. Yimo easily pulled it into the golden page world. This was his first top-grade immortal range. It was much better to cultivate on the immortal range than using immortal crystals. Just when he put the immortal range away, he heard Shadowless roaring. Yimo's spirit sense scanned over and saw Shadowless was surrounded by 6 Great Eternity Immortals. Seeing this, Yimo was furious and instantly landed before them. What confused Yimo was that the Great Eternity Immortal from before wasn't dead. He looked a little shabby. Seeing Yimo come over, those Great Eternity Immortals stopped attacking. Shadowless came back to Yimo with a disappointed face. "This immortal friend, this immortal spirit beast is your immortal pet, right? He chased my friend, so we stopped him. Now that everyone is fine, I suggest to leave things at this." One halfway immortal king saluted with his fists. Seeing this person being polite, Yimo nodded. He didn't care. They only said this because they saw Shadowless' power. He didn't need to fight with other people since there were treasures everywhere here. You dare to rob my boss's immortal range, next time I see you, I will eat you. Shadowless threatened with annoyance. These few people dazed, their friend grieved over someone else's immortal range, no wonder they chased up. Immortal range was precious, but compared to this small heaven domain it was nothing. After all, there were too many good things here. Instead of fighting over it, they might as well get something else. Their time was limited. At this moment, a flare shot into the sky. These few great eternity immortals saw it and left without hesitation. Yimo could tell that this flare wasn't ordinary, it was like a one-time use middle-grade immortal artifact. Let's go over and see. Yimo said immediately and sat on Shadowless. Shadowless moved and instantly shaked away those great eternity immortals. Those few great eternity immortals saw Shadowless' speed and were shocked. This beast was not only strong but also very fast. 5 minutes later, Yimo arrived at the flare. There were nearly 100 people gathered here. Li Kuan and Mi Yun were amongst them. There was a huge mountain ahead surrounded with mist. Boss, this is a natural formation. Shadowless said immediately. Yimo could tell this mist was a huge top-level natural defense formation. At least Yimo couldn't break it. Seeing Yimo riding a strange black horse with wings over, people already gave him strange looks. Now that this horse spoke, they felt even more bewildered. Usually, only big sects or powerful Banes could own immortal spirit beast that could speak. Some people's eyes showed greed, many people saw Shadowless speed. Immortal friend, do you sell this pet? I can pay any amount of immortal crystals. I'm from Dongming Emperor sect. You know, our Li Long immortal emperor master would be very interested in such pet. I suggest you sell it, otherwise. The great eternity immortal tertiary stage walked up to Yimo and saluted with his fists. Dongming Emperor sect was very powerful, it had 3 immortal emperor. Piss off, say one more word and I'll eat you alive. Yimo didn't even say anything but Shadowless roared. How dare this guy seduce his boss to sell him? With how he didn't perform very well before, he was really scared Yimo would sell him. Unless he was dumb, why would he leave the chaos world and bitter bamboo? Plus, he already had a master, he couldn't leave. If he was sold, he might be roasted and eaten. An animal dares to insult me. The great eternity immortal's face sunk and grabbed at Shadowless. How could Shadowless tolerate this? He opened his mouth. This great eternity immortal was weaker than the one who fought him before. When the great eternity immortal felt the powerful suction force and how he couldn't control the nearby space anymore, he was very shocked. He knew he underestimated this animal. Shadowless was desperate to show himself in front of Yimo, so he tried his best. Seeing that this great eternity immortal was about to be devoured, 2 other people on the side charged up wanting to save him. Yimo sneered and palmed out. If one person fought Shadowless and Shadowless lost, then Shadowless was useless. But if they gained up on Shadowless, they were acting as though he didn't exist. Yimo's spirit sense and immortal essence was far beyond ordinary great eternity immortal peak stage. If he could control domain, he would be on par with ordinary immortal king. The space in the small heaven domain wasn't as stable. As Yimo struck out with his palm, nearby space rattled and shook. The 2 great eternity immortals quickly released their magic artifact to stop the 2 palms from Yimo. Thud thud. The 2 great eternity immortal were smashed away a few kilometers before falling down. Crack, the great eternity immortal who asked to buy Shadowless was gone. One could still hear the crushing sounds in Shadowless' mouth. The great eternity immortal who wanted to rob Yimo's immortal range saw this and was very scared. He subconsciously walked around Yimo and Shadowless to the other side. Those few great eternity immortals who were with him rejoiced that they didn't fight Yimo. This white-faced young great eternity immortal was too terrifying. The near 100 people here took in a cold breath. In less than a few seconds, this great eternity immortal and the beast ate a great eternity immortal and struck 2 great eternity immortal tertiary stages flying away. Some people have recognized that Yimo didn't come in with them. But no one suspected a thing. After all, some people used masks here too. Li Kuan stared at Yimo in shock. She felt that Yi Mo's means of attack was familiar, but she didn't dare to go up and ask. A halfway immortal king walked out and smiled. I'm Great Red Heaven Yuan Sho. What's your name, immortal friend? I'm Ning Xiaoma. Yi Mo saluted with his fists. Hello, Brother Ning. This mist mountain is a natural formation. I believe Brother Ning knows. We such a spirit item with intelligence run inside, so we trapped this mountain. I want to invite Brother Ning to break it together. There might be ample top-grade spirit items inside. We can split things. Yuan Sho smiled and waited for Yi Mo to reply. Yi Mo and his immortal pet's power was too strong. He sent out the flare to ask for some help, but instead a master like Yi Mo came. Even he was probably no match for Yi Mo. Yi Mo knew what Yuan Sho meant. It was to tell him that they found this mountain, and if they break in, the things should be shared around. Of course, but since we're all working together, there would be people who contribute more and less. I believe sharing equally wouldn't be too appropriate, right? Yi Mo asked. Of course, I think so too. This natural formation is very sturdy. We need to attack together. Brother Han, come tell us. Yuan Shua turned around and said to a young Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary Stage. The young Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary Stage saluted with his fists in front of Yi Mo. Hello, immortal friend Ning. I'm Han Xiaofu. I come from Qing Wei Heaven Lord Estate. You're Wei Feng, Immortal Emperor's disciple? Yi Mo asked. No, my master is just great friends with the Grand Emperor, so I get to stay in Heaven Lord Estate. Han Xiaofu said with a genuine tone. I'm a level 5 immortal formation Great Master. I can't break this natural formation, but I know how to attack it. If immortal friend Ning is willing, I can command the breaking of the formation. Han Xiaofu said. Just when Yi Mo wanted to agree, Shadowless sound transmissioned boss, there's too many things inside. We must not split with them, let's do it ourselves. Yi Mo looked back at Shadowless. This guy was quite sly. Just when Yi Mo wanted to ask Yi Mo how he knew, he felt something was wrong. Yi Mo subconsciously looked around and saw most people were looking at him and Shadowless. Just when Yi Mo wanted to ask Yi Mo how he knew, he felt something was wrong. Yi Mo subconsciously looked around and saw most people were looking at him and Shadowless. Yi Mo instantly realized and slapped Shadowless' head. If you don't know how to sound transmission, then don't, idiot. Now everyone knows what you said. Shadowless reached Heaven Dao, but his heritage wasn't perfected. He studied sound transmission himself and thus was very coarse method. Most people heard what he said. This was like saying in front of everyone, I know there's lots of good things here, boss, and I won't take you guys. Shadowless didn't feel embarrassed at all and said pitifully, boss, I just figured it out myself. I wanted to test it. Li Kuan, Mi Yun, and a few female immortal couldn't hold it anymore and laughed out. Yi Mo quickly taught Shadowless a few chants and told him to study it himself. Yuan Sho laughed and saluted with his fists. Everyone work together and Brother Han command us. What do you think, Brother Ning? He felt secured. Due to this beast sound transmission, Yi Mo can't go find the treasure alone or everyone will gang up on him. Yi Mo knew this power of this defense formation. Shadowless and him together wouldn't be able to break it for a few days, so they had to cooperate. Of course, my opinion is the same as immortal friend Yuan. Everyone work together. Suddenly, Yi Mo got Shadowless sound transmission again. Boss, I can break the mist outside, it's good nutrition. Yi Mo looked around and made sure Shadowless really learned sound transmission this time. He breathed easy a little. The mist around the mountain has dense spirit crippling demonic Kai, tens of times than when they first entered this place. If they attacked it, it would disperse everywhere. Now that Shadowless could devour it, it meant he had an extra trump card. Thinking about this, Yi Mo said, immortal friend Yuan, there's large amounts of spirit crippling demonic Kai in the mist. If we attack it by force, it will disperse and exacerbate the spirit root crippling and lengthen the attack on the mountain. We only have 1 day later, we will be teleported out. I think reducing the time is very necessary. Yes, my suggestion to break the formation from a certain place is to prevent the demonic Kai from spilling. Han Xiaofu quickly said. Brother Ning, do you have a good way then? Yuan Sho asked. Yi Mo gave a confident face. Indeed, immortal friend Yuan, if I can break this mist in a short time and let everyone break the formation, how many shares would I get? Yuan Sha dazed and immediately asked in joy, Brother Ning, you can really break the mist? Yuan Sha immediately woke up and said, how many shares do you want, Brother Ning? Yimo knew there were a lot of people here, 87 in total. He couldn't take too much, but he must have the distribution right and get the spirit item that ran inside. Thinking about this, Yimo said, I don't want too much, I'll take 20% of the things here, but the condition is that I have the distribution rights. I agree. Yuan Sha said without hesitation. He then looked at everyone else. Immortal friends. Immortal friend Ning will break the demonic mist Kai alone. He will have 20% of the things and the distribution right. I have agreed, what do you think? I agree too. Han Xiaofu said. Agree. The rest of the people all agreed, even the two Yimo slapped away. If it was some other place, they would be unhappy that Yimo took 20% when there was 87 people here, but their time here was limited. If they could open here quickly, they would have more time to search other places. Attack. Seeing everyone agreed, Yimo said to Shadowless. Shadowless was waiting to perform, and hearing this, he charged into the mist and sucked. The mist that tightly surrounded the mountain rolled around. Everyone saw clearly that the dragon horse devoured the mist into its mouth. Such terrifying spirit-crippling demonic Kai was eaten by this immortal spirit beast. Everyone was shocked. Just what immortal spirit beast was this? This was too absurd. Some great eternity immortals were thinking, a immortal spirit beast that could ignore this demonic Kai would be able to stay here however he wanted. Yuan Sha's face changed. He didn't expect Yimo's immortal spirit beast was this powerful. With this ability, this immortal spirit beast would be able to get everything when they were teleported out. In 5 montes, the mist completely disappeared, revealing the formation behind it. A few great eternity immortals saw the mist was gone and wanted to charge up and attack, but Shadowless spewed a stream of mist like a smoke pipe. Those few great eternity immortal immediately retreated in terror. Shadowless pridefully sucked the smoke back as though warning people he could spew it at any time. Yimo was speechless. He knew that Shadowless could only spew the smoke he hadn't digested yet. A day or so later, it would be all gone. Yuan Sha said calmly to the shocked Han Xiaofu, Brother Han, come over and arrange the attack. Yuan Sha calmed down, but in his heart, he considered Yimo's Shadowless something he must have. This immortal spirit beast was not ordinary, it might even be God beast, but in here, there was nothing he could do against Yimo. But he had made up his mind to report this immortal spirit beast to his sect. Han Xiaofu was also thinking about this immortal spirit beast and decided to report to his master no matter what. As for how to deal with Ning Xiaoma, it wasn't his problem. Seeing everyone's dodgy eyes, how could Yimo not know what they thought? The immortals didn't dare to get near Shadowless, seeing he could spew the smoke back out. Han Xiaofu was a level 5 immortal formation great master and thus could still find a place to attack. It wasn't the weakest spot, but with 87 people attacking at the same time, even the most stable natural immortal formation would be grinded down. Half a day later, the immortal formation cracked and everyone became excited. They knew the immortal formation was about to be broken. A dense immortal spirit Kai came pouring into their face. 100-meter-tall ancient tree appeared before them. Hundreds of red fruit hung on the branches, seeming very beautiful. Peng Yu immortal fruit, almost everyone called out in shock. Before they could rejoice, a black figure dashed into the formation and stood before the Peng Yu immortal fruit and spewed out demonic Kai. Then he said, Boss, the formation is broken, now you can distribute them. Those little guys near the formation move aside. The further away you are, the more priority boss will give you. There's some rotten fruits on the ground, it's a waste to abandon them. I'm an animal anyways, so I don't mind. Shadowless said and swept up more than 10 Peng Yu immortal fruit and ate them. There's some rotten fruits on the ground, it's a waste to abandon them. I'm an animal anyways, so I don't mind. Shadowless said and swept up more than 10 Peng Yu immortal fruit and ate them. The people immediately realized what Shadowless meant and some of their faces looked bad. There was only a Peng Yu immortal fruit tree in the formation, nothing else. If Shadowless just stopped them, it was fine. After all, they had decided on a distribution method. Everyone would probably get 1 or 2 fruits in the end. But were the fruits on the ground not Peng Yu immortal fruit? This guy said he didn't mind and just ate more than 10. No one said they didn't want the fruit on the ground. This guy swooped them away just because he was fast, so shameless. The fruits on the ground were mature and had a little purple color. It wasn't rotten at all. But there were demonic Kai mist before Shadowless. They were controlled all by Shadowless. If Shadowless used it to attack someone, they would have to use the Jade card to teleport out. Yuan Shou's face was bad. If it was some other fruits it was fine, but more than 10 Pengyu immortal fruit was eaten like snacks by this immortal spirit beast. It was too wasteful. Yi Mo knew Shadowless' greed was going to cause public outcry. He quickly went up and slapped "Take away your mist. You think everyone will pick up and eat the things on the ground? Move away." Yi Mo took back the mist and walked off to the side pridefully. Yi Mo saluted with his fists. "Immortal friends, there are 201 fruits on the tree. Immortal friend Yuan and Han put in more effort. They get 3 each, the rest of the immortal friends get 2 each. What do you all think?" Yuan Shou's face eased up hearing this and said, "Immortal friend Ning put the greatest effort in and we've decided on this already, so of course I'm fine. 201 fruits, if Yi Mo was to get 20%, it would be 40, but according to the way Yi Mo divided it now, he would have less than 30. If one didn't count the amount Shadowless took, Yi Mo would be getting below his share." No one mentioned what Shadowless ate anymore. That guy already said he was an animal, meaning that he wasn't human, and he talked about eating from the ground. If anyone mentioned what Shadowless ate, they would be dropping their status. Everyone here had high status backgrounds. If they got no fruits at all, they might bring it up, but now that everyone got 2, who would mention it again? Even if they mentioned it, Yi Mo could just say, "I got less than 20%. Overall, everyone was happy with the outcome. Just when Yi Mo gave 3 fruits to Yuan Shou, Shadowless said happily, "Boss, according to 20% rule you should get at least 40. Now, we're losing out." The Great Eternity Immortals on the side looked at Shadowless with contempt, but no one wanted to say anything here. They were about to get their fruits. It wasn't wise to offend this immortal spirit beast now. Yi Mo didn't seem to hear Shadowless and split out the fruits. Soon, everyone got their fruits and there was only 27 left on the tree. I know, boss, you should take the tree away. Although we'll still be losing, but it's better than nothing," Shadowless suddenly said. Yi Mo approved of Shadowless' cunning. He wanted to move the tree away and he knew that he wasn't the only one. Just when he wanted to say it, Shadowless mentioned it. With this, Yuan Shou's face changed again. He didn't ask for more fruits because he wanted this tree, but now, Shadowless mentioned it again. But before he could talk, Shadowless walked up to the tree and opened his mouth, pulling the entire tree up. Yi Mo then casually threw it into his storage ring. "Sai boss, you're such a good person. If it was me I would take at least 41 fruits, but you only asked for 20 or so." Shadowless sighed. Everyone cursed Shadowless for being so shameless. Was 27 20 or so? Just when Yuan Shou wanted to negotiate with Yi Mo and get the tree back, the earth from which the tree was pulled away cracked. The people immediately retreated, so did Yi Mo. A few seconds later, the formation completely collapsed and then a new mist mountain appeared. This mist mountain was blocked by the formation surrounding the tree. No wonder that spirit item that ran in was gone. There's another formation here. Someone said, "Enjoy." Yuan Shou immediately gave up the idea of wanting to ask for the tree. He immediately saluted with his fists to Yi Mo. "Brother Ning, there's another formation area. It seems the real good things are inside." Those who remained here were very excited. One could only imagine that the things behind would be even better. Yi Mo sneered. He had to break the first formation. Even if he didn't, other people would at most need half a day to break. This second formation was clearly going to waste more time than the first. Now, there was only half a day before they had to leave. Only an Idoit would make Shadowless break the formation. He would rather wait till these people left and then come here with Shadowless. Shadowless seemed to know it was his time to perform and he immediately said feebly, "Boss, I seem to have eaten too much before. I have a stomachache now. Am I going to die?" "Did something happen when you ate the spirit crippling demonic Kai?" Yes, I ate too much mist," Shadowless said quickly. Yi Mo slapped over, "Then hurry up and spit it back out. Do you want to die keeping it in your stomach?" Shadowless cursed himself for being so stupid. Compared to boss, he seemed to be lacking a bit. He spewed tens of waves of demonic Kai out, and suddenly there was another layer of demonic Kai ahead of this formation. Yimo saluted with his fists to Yuan Shaw, apologetically. Immortal friend Yuan, I'm truly sorry, my pet seems to have eaten too much. I need to take him to a place to rest. The things here are precious, but it doesn't seem to have any fortune with me. Then Yimo didn't wait for a reply and just hoped on Shadowless. Shadowless blew away instantly, without any signs of weakness. Too shameless. One great eternity immortal tertiary stage said. Everyone else's face was very bad, everyone knew what the two was scheming. Shadowless wasn't scared of the demonic Kai, and Ning Xiaoma definitely had a way to avoid it. When they all went out, these two shameless guys would come back for sure. To make things worse, they spewed another barrier of demonic Kai before they left, adding to the difficult to break the formation. Yuan Shaw looked bleakly at the direction Yimo disappeared and said after a moment, our time is limited, it's probably very hard to break this formation, immortal friends, I'll be leaving first. Then he disappeared with his two partners. Seeing this, everyone else left quickly. Now, Yimo had moved that Pengyu immortal tree into his golden page world. He felt really good about himself. Good work today. Yimo applauded Shadowless. He was very happy with Shadowless saying the right things at the right time. Boss, I learnt all this from you, but I just realized today that I'm a far cry from you. Shadowless said sycophantically. He was wondering if he should spit back out the fruits he ate. These fruits benefited him greatly too. Yimo's face sunk. When did I teach you such things? Shadowless immediately knew he said the wrong things and quickly said, Boss, I picked up some fruits before, should I spit it back for you? No, you can enjoy it yourself slowly. Yimo said speechlessly. Hearing this, Shadowless started to digest the fruits and demonic Kai. Yimo and Shadowless only walked for half an hour and felt dense immortal spirit Kai. Yimo and Shadowless only walked for half an hour and felt dense immortal spirit Kai. Before Yimo spoke, Shadowless already dashed over. When Shadowless got there, Yimo saw why the immortal spirit Kai was so good here. There was a top-grade immortal range. It was even bigger than the one he took before. In time, this immortal range might even reach extreme-grade immortal range. Boss, I know this guy. Shadowless said. The Great Eternity Immortal taking the immortal range was Yang Zhoutian. There were battle scenes around him. Shadowless knew Yang Zhoutian because the first time Yimo fought Yang Zhoutian, Shadowless ambushed him. Yang Zhoutian also saw Yimo and Shadowless. When he saw Shadowless, his eyes lit up immediately, but he didn't stop at all. In just a few seconds, he took the top-grade immortal range into his storage ring. Yimo really wanted to charge up and rob it. Yang Zhoutian already progressed faster than him. He was Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary Stage, and with this immortal range and the high-level Immortal Spirit Herb in here, he would Essence Blood able to reach Immortal King quickly. But he knew that there was no point even if he charged up. It would only expose his identity quickly. Even Uncle G didn't keep Yang Zhoutian there. Friend, are you willing to sell this Immortal Spirit Beast? If you do, I can give the immortal range I just got to you. What confused Yimo was that Yang Zhoutian didn't fight with Yimo and instead wanted to trade. Shadowless hated when people asked to buy him, and now that Yang Zhoutian said this, he immediately growled. Yimo patted Shadowless. He knew that if they fought, Yang Zhoutian would be able to recognize him immediately. There was no point fighting. He didn't want anyone to recognize him here. Let's go. Yimo patted Shadowless and Shadowless disappeared with him. Yang Zhoutian frowned at the direction Yimo left, and after a long while he murmured, it carries a sliver of dragon force. Is this flying horse a mutated dragon race? 3 days passed quickly. On the 3rd day, there were more and more people at the Hongyu Square. They were all waiting for the people from Small Heaven Domain to come out. There were a lot of immortal kings in the immortal realm, but compared to great immortals, immortal kings were a rare existence. There might not be an immortal king in 1 million Great Eternity Immortals. Despite Yi King Pill only increasing chance of Great Eternity Immortal breaking through to Immortal King by 30%, it was still a priceless pill. In reality, the pill gave a slightly higher chance since many immortals have been stuck at Great Eternity Immortal for countless years. Their foundation was at a peak. The pill only gave them an opportunity to break through. There were too many good things in the small heaven domain, but no matter what they had to go out. If they didn't, their jade card would be ruined. Without it, they would be trapped at small heaven domain. Thus, the great eternity immortals all crushed their jade card and teleported out. The 10 immortal emperors had long been waiting at the asteroid platform. As they came out, the things in their storage ring became naked in the eyes of these immortal emperors. 1100 went in, 958 came out. 5 minutes later, these great eternity immortals and the 10 immortal emperors were teleported back to the square. At the same time, the void asteroid platform suddenly exploded, and so did the surveillance formation images. One immortal monarch saw this and his face changed. He immediately came to Wei Yifeng, immortal emperor, and bowed. Heaven Lord Master, the asteroid platform exploded. How does the next batch of people go in? Wei Yifeng, immortal emperor, heard this and sneered. There is no next batch. The small heaven domain is about to explode. Why send more people in? Subconsciously said, but what if people still haven't come out? Before going in, we already said there is only 3 days' time. If they don't come out within 3 days, then they have to pay the consequences. Wei Yifeng, immortal emperor, finished and couldn't be bothered talking to this immortal monarch. How could he not know why this immortal monarch asked this? Clearly he had disciples or related people that stayed behind. Wei Yifeng, immortal emperor, stood on the stage and said loudly, this trip has been rather fulfilling. Although some prodigies died, it's a rather low lethality rate compared to other trial grounds. Now, we will announce what was found at the small heaven domain before talking about distribution. Before Wei Yifeng, immortal emperor, finished, one great eternity immortal tertiary stage walked up and bowed. Heaven Lord Master, someone went against the rules inside. He ate Peng Yu immortal fruit and killed Dongming Emperor sect's food Sungsheng. Before this great eternity immortal finished, one long-eyebrowed man flew over and grabbed this great eternity immortal. Who dares to kill Dongming Emperor sect's disciple? Speak. I, Li Long, want to see who has the balls. The great eternity immortal quickly said. Li Long, immortal emperor master, this person probably changed his face, but I'm certain master can find him. He has a dragon horse immortal spirit beast. The stage below was noisy. To these immortals, they didn't care if people were killed, they cared about Peng Yu immortal fruit being found inside. Wei Yifeng, immortal emperor, walked over and smiled. Li Long, immortal emperor, on my account please put down this great eternity immortal. No matter who it is, he's dead for certain to disregard our rules. Wei Yifeng, immortal emperor, didn't even take Li Long, immortal emperor, seriously, but he was shocked about Dragon Horse. Dragon Horse also belonged to the dragon race. How could it be a pet? Li Long, immortal emperor, nodded and let go of that great eternity immortal. Be specific. They were a top big sect, but they couldn't disregard Wei Yifeng, immortal emperor. Feng Kong and Dragon River Grand Emperor, as well as a few immortal emperor, all walked over after hearing Dragon Horse. The great eternity immortal quickly said, that person is called Ning Xiaoma. His pet isn't necessarily Dragon Horse. It looks like a dragon horse but has a pair of golden wings. It devoured food Sungsheng in one mouth. Yu Chizhen and I tried to stop it but was struck back by that great eternity immortal in one blow. 89 people saw this. His pet can also devour spirit crippling demonic Kai. What? Almost all the immortal emperors were shocked. Based on the descriptions, this was a mutated god beast for certain. That great eternity immortal was no ordinary person too, to be able to defeat 2 great eternity immortal tertiary stage in one move. Everyone who saw this person and his pet stand out. Feng Kong immediately said. Even Yang Zhoutian stood out. He knew his power wasn't enough and he couldn't lie here. He cursed why he had to see Yimo. Suddenly, a purple-robed man appeared on the stage. No one saw how he appeared, but when he did, even Wei Yifeng, Grand Emperor, Feng Kong Grand Emperor, and them saluted with their fists. The purple-robed man nodded and scanned these 86 great eternity immortals. He asked almost everyone who tried to cheat before and didn't find who he wanted. He waited here to see if that person successfully cheated. When he heard that Ning Xiaoma was using a masquerade, he wanted to find this Ning Xiaoma even more. Wei Yifeng, immortal emperor, knew Han Xiaofu. He smiled to Han Xiaofu and nodded. You're Feng Nian, immortal emperor's disciple, right? Han Xiaofu quickly bowed. Yes, Feng Nian, immortal emperor, is my master. Tell me about that Ning Xiaoma. Wei Yifeng, Immortal Emperor, smiled. Han Xiaofu didn't hide anything and told them about how Yimo dominantly attacked and stole the Pengyu fruit tree as well as 27 fruits. Wei Yifeng, Immortal Emperor, scanned the 900 or so people and said slowly, which of you know who is Ning Xiaoma, stand out. Wei Yifeng, Immortal Emperor, scanned the 900 or so people and said slowly, which of you know who is Ning Xiaoma, stand out. No one spoke nor did anyone move. Feng Kong Grand Emperor said plainly, this person schemed that much, he probably wouldn't appear here. According to what he did before, he should still be in the small heaven domain attacking that mist formation. The purple-robed man suddenly said, how long would it be possible to send people in the small heaven domain again? Wei Yifeng, Grand Emperor, shook his head. We've investigated small heaven domain for a long while. It's completely surrounded by mist and is in a delicate balance. If we tear the outside space, it would draw some void elements into the small heaven domain, breaking the balance. And the amount of people, how long they stay there, and their power would also affect the balance of the small heaven domain. We've calculated, the longest time 1000 or so Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary stage can stay in there is 3 days. 3 days later, the balance would be broken and it would self-destruct. Even Immortal Emperor wouldn't be able to stand that self-destruct. This was like a container containing all sorts of gas. If the inside was ravaged, then the container might explode. The purple-robed man nodded and said nothing. He knew his lead might break from here again. He suspected that Great Eternity Immortal with Dragon Horse was definitely in the small heaven domain. But if the small heaven domain exploded, he would lose all clues. Wei Yifeng, Immortal Emperor, looked at the Great Eternity Immortals and said, those who got Chaos Spirit item or rare Immortal Spirit herbs come out. One Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary stage with a black mark on his face got up and took out a jade box. Immortal Emperor Masters, WN Bei saw a spirit item with its own intelligence. It was too fast and WN Bei was only able to keep one of its arm. When this jade box was taken out, the surroundings suddenly seemed cold. Even annoyed minds calmed down. Before Wei Yifeng, Immortal Emperor, moved, Feng Kong Grand Emperor took the jade box and opened it. It wasn't an arm inside but a white root. Ice Ginseng King? All the Immortal Emperors looked at this root and took a cold breath in. Ice Ginseng King was definitely the top special treasure. If it was a complete Ice Ginseng King, it could even help people learn Dao art and help Immortal Emperor peak stage vindicate Dao. If it was below Immortal Emperor, it would be even more useful. This was definitely first-class treasure. All the Immortal Emperors looked at the Ice Ginseng King root. Even the purple-robed man stared at it with a sliver of desire. Feng Kong Grand Emperor sighed, pity it's only one root. If it's the entire Ice Ginseng King, it would be too perfect. He then gave the jade box to Wei Yifeng, Grand Emperor. You can keep it first, we'll divide it later. Okay. Wei Yifeng nodded and then said to the Great Eternity Immortal, you're very good. What is your name? WN Bei Demon Joy Sect Lu Ju. The Great Eternity Immortal quickly bowed. Okay, you can keep 20% of what you got. Wei Yifeng, Grand Emperor, nodded. Thank you, Heaven Lord Master. Lu Ju bowed again. Heaven Lord Master, WN Bei saw this spirit item. Yuan Sho said. You saw the Ice Ginseng King? Wei Yifeng, Grand Emperor, quickly asked. Yuan Sho said yes, we attacked the mist formation with Ning Xiaoma because the spirit item went inside. But there was a formation inside a formation and we only got Pengyu immortal fruits from the first formation. Han Xiaofu and them came out to testify too. Sigh, it's a pity. Dragon River Grand Emperor shook his head. Indeed it's a pity, but we got something at least. Wei Yifeng, Immortal Emperor, said and waved out a huge long immortal jade desk and said to the rest of the people, take out what you have and place it on the jade table and then leave your name. No one dared to hide what they got inside and took it all out. Even Yang Jiutian didn't dare to hide his immortal range, he took out both immortal ranges he found. Immediately, immortal spirit Kai spilled everywhere and the immortals below were blinded by this. There were even level 9 immortal spirit herbs. Dragon River Grand Emperor picked up Pengyu immortal fruit up and looked. This is a top-grade Pengyu immortal fruit. If they matured on the tree themselves, they would be priceless. The other immortal emperors nodded. They didn't expect to get this many Peng-yu immortal fruit in the small heaven domain. It was very hard for the fruits to mature on the tree. Usually they were red while still on the tree. Only when picked would they slowly turn purple. The fruits on the table were faint purple, clearly due to being picked off. If they were purple on the tree, then they would the best Peng-yu immortal fruit. But turning purple on the tree was very rare. Not only was a long time needed, but there even requires a sliver of Chaos Kai. Those great eternity immortal who came out all must go through the heart door again. They would be asked 2 questions. One, if you kept anything you got in the small heaven domain. Second, do you know Ning Xiaoma? They all passed and no one lied. The purple-robed man sighed. He knew it would be like this. If Ning Xiaoma was so easily caught, he wouldn't have escaped in the first place. Yi Mo, just as they guessed, brought Shadowless back to the second mist formation. Shadowless sucked it like a whale and all the mist was devoured. Then, Shadowless said gloatingly, "Boss, see, I'm useful. I knew those trash wouldn't be able to break this formation in half a day. Now we can get these things and find even better places. Without anyone in here, we can get wealthy all we like in here. Shut up and break the formation." Yi Mo released the world rock. He felt Shadowless was much more useful than before. He still had a huge appetite, but he could do smoothing now. But before Yi Mo smashed this formation, suddenly a white figure dashed out and Yi Mo subconsciously released his world rock to stop it. But just when he did, the white light stopped. Yi Mo knew he didn't stop it, the white light stopped itself. Only now did Yi Mo see that a pitiful-looking baby came out of the formation. One arm was gone, it wore snow-white clothes, even its hair was white. "Boss, this thing looks very tasty." Shadowless stared at this baby and licked its lips. Yi Mo realized, this was the spirit item Yuan Sha and them were talking about. "Boss," the baby copied Shadowless and called. Shadowless immediately yelled, "Who told you to say that? Do you have the right to? Answer boss's questions and I'll eat you in one gulp later." The baby subconsciously retreated a little hearing this. Yi Mo waved his hand, making Shadowless retreat, and asked, "You stayed on your own accord, right? Otherwise I wouldn't be able to catch up to you, right?" "Yes, boss." The baby looked fearfully at Shadowless on the side. "Boss, I can definitely chase it. If you don't believe me, let it go first. I'll catch him soon." Shadowless quickly said. He had a bad feeling, he might have a competitor in the chaos world later. "You definitely can't catch up to me," the baby said. "If it wasn't that it had nowhere to do, it wouldn't stay." Shadowless said in contempt, "I can definitely catch up to you. Plus, what's the use of just running? Can you scheme for boss? If it wasn't my idea, you would have been caught by those who broke the formation." Yi Mo ignored Shadowless and looked at this spirit item, asking, "What's your original form? Why don't you run?" "My original form is Ice Ginseng. This place is about to be destroyed due to outsiders coming. I have nowhere to run to," the baby said in terror. "My original form is Ice Ginseng. This place is about to be destroyed due to outsiders coming. I have nowhere to run to," the baby said in terror. "You're Ice Ginseng King?" Yi Mo asked in shock, but then added, "How do you know this place is about to be destroyed?" The Ice Ginseng King shook its head. "I don't know how I know, but I feel this place is about to be destroyed. Perhaps I've stayed here for too long." Yi Mo extended his spirit sense out. His premonition had usually been very strong, but this time he didn't feel it at all. The small heaven domain would be destroyed. Why would it be destroyed? But after a while, he really felt some uneasiness. Yi Mo didn't know if it was the placebo effect. "Boss, I seem to have this feeling too. I thought too much before, it's real." Shadowless added on the side. "Boss, can you take me away from here?" the Ice Ginseng King asked fearfully. Yi Mo nodded yes, but I have to go find some immortal spirit items. I'm not leaving now. Yi Mo looked at the Ice Ginseng King. He knew it was the top grade thing. Even if he didn't use it for pill concoction and just ate it straight up, he would be able to reach Immortal King without any damage to Foundation. But this Ice Ginseng King already had its own intelligence and even morphed into human. Eating it was like eating a human. Yi Mo really couldn't take it. Everything in the world had a spirit. Hearing this, The Ice Ginseng King was worried, but then it saw Yimo's eyes and suddenless eyes. It looked like they were going to eat it, and it immediately began shaking. "Boss, are you going to eat this small ice ginseng?" Shadowless asked shamelessly on the side. Yimo sighed and waved his hand. "No need, everything has spirit. Ice Ginseng King already formed into human, eating it is too ruthless. And, it told me this news, regardless if it's real or not, at least I'm prepared now." "Thank you, boss." The Ice Ginseng King was very grateful. "You can follow me, but you can only stay inside my world. Without my order you can't come out," Yimo said very seriously. Yimo wasn't going to let Ice Ginseng King leave after it went inside the Golden Page world. If it was caught by some other immortal, even his Golden Page world would be exposed. Not everyone wouldn't eat the Ice Ginseng King. The Ice Ginseng King hesitated and said, "I'm willing." Although he had to stay inside Yimo's Golden Page world, it was better than dying. Yimo nodded. "Okay, I'll give you a name, boss, just call him Small Ginseng. It doesn't sound as cool as my name, but it suits this small ice ginseng." Shadowless quickly said, "Okay, Small Ginseng is good." Yimo immediately agreed. The Ice Ginseng King wasn't satisfied, but it had no choice but to agree. It existed much longer than Shadowless but was called Small Ginseng. "Boss, there's an extreme grade small ginseng here," the Ice Ginseng King said without Yimo asking. Hearing this, Shadowless quickly said, "Boss, I'll help you break formation." For Shadowless, he could come out completely because he could find spirit items. How could he let the Ice Ginseng King rob his job? What if Boss felt he was useless and threw him back into the Golden Page world? Then he wouldn't be able to eat freely. Hit this position and then hit 50 cms left, 80 cms right 10 times each. Leave 1 second in between, and for the last time leave 7 seconds in between, and you can break the formation quickly. Ice Ginseng King said innocently. "What do you know?" Shadowless didn't bite where Small Ginseng pointed, but its bite only shook the formation a little. Yimo released World Rock and smashed at where Small Ginseng said. Crack, this formation was broken. Yimo dazed. The easier formation before took half a day with 80 or so people to attack, but now this harder formation was so easily broken with the help of Small Ginseng. Shadowless stood awkwardly on the side while Yimo looked at Ice Ginseng King in confusion. "Small Ginseng, you're experienced in formation?" Small Ginseng shook its head. "I've been living here for countless years. I know this natural formation already." The dense immortal spirit Kai came into his face. Before Yimo moved, Shadowless already dug open the earth. It's extreme grade immortal range indeed. Yimo was overjoyed. With this, if he spent some time in the time formation disk, his progression won't be slower than Yang Jiutian. Yimo then waved Shadowless and Small Ginseng into the Golden Page world. He told them that he would be putting this extreme grade immortal range in. When they went in, Yimo started setting up formation. This was harder than putting in top grade Small Ginseng. Yimo had to ensure the immortal range wouldn't be damaged. This place is Chaos World. Ice Ginseng King stood in the Golden Page world completely dumbfounded. He thought Yimo's world was only going to be a small world. He didn't expect this was a Chaos World. If he knew it was, he wouldn't leave even if he was asked to. There's also bitter bamboo of the 10 great spirit items. The Ice Ginseng King was in amazement. Comparatively, he didn't care that much about the yellow middle plum branch. "Hillbilly," Shadowless said in contempt. Shadowless then pointed at the bitter bamboo and warned, "Let me warn you, you must not go in within 1,000 centimeter radius of the bitter bamboo or the boss will roast you and so will I." "You understand?" "I understand," Ice Ginseng King quickly answered. "Call Big Brother," Shadowless reproached. Ice Ginseng King quickly called Big Brother. Shadowless was very happy with this and nodded. "Don't call Boss Brother Yi or he will skin you." I had to think for a long while before figuring out calling him boss. "I gave you this benefit." "Never mind, follow me first." Ice Ginseng King nodded and followed Shadowless to the other side of the Golden Page world. Shadowless pointed at that place surrounded with restriction. "You can't go in a 6 kilometers radius of that place. Even I can only stay outside of 3 kilometers radius." Ice Ginseng King didn't ask why Shadowless could go closer. It was completely dumbfounded. It murmured to itself, "I actually saw Chaos Tree. Chaos world, chaos tree, boss is too amazing. Shadowless sneered, so you have some knowledge. Of course boss is great, but your compliments are too bad. You're not allowed to suck up to boss, you understand? I want to go up and see the chaos tree. The Ice Ginseng King continued to say. Do you not want to live? Did you not hear what I said? Even I can only stay outside 3 kilometers radius, but you want to go up. If the boss comes back, you will definitely be roasted and eaten. Shadowless threatened. Small Ginseng shivered and eventually didn't go up. Seeing Small Ginseng being scared, Shadowless pointed at the immortal spirit herb happily. This immortal spirit herb garden is yours. I will be sleeping under the bitter bamboo. You can sleep in the immortal spirit herb garden. These immortal spirit herb are all for me. Ice Ginseng King didn't care about these low-level immortal spirit herb, but he felt very happy to be taken seriously as soon as he came. Keep dreaming. Last time I ate a few level 3, no, it seemed to be very low-level immortal spirit herb and boss almost roasted and ate me. You dare to touch the immortal spirit herb here, Shadowless reproached. I don't dare to, but you said it's for me. Ice Ginseng King asked nervously. I was taking care of it before, now it's up to you. You need to take care of their growth. If problems arises, boss will roast you and eat you. Small Ginseng's face was green from hearing all these roastings and eatings. After a long while, Small Ginseng asked softly, Big brother, you gave the immortal spirit herb garden to me to take care of. What are you going to do? Shadowless walked towards the bitter bamboo a few steps and said, do you not see a bitter bamboo here? And the chaos tree over there, they need to be taken care of by me. You're so clumsy. What if you damage it? Didn't you say you can't enter a 3 kilometers radius of the chaos tree? Small Ginseng looked at Shadowless in confusion. Shadowless was lost for words. He could only stern his face up. I'm looking after it from afar. I would take a few glances at it once in a while. Small Ginseng was lost for words. It suddenly felt this big brother didn't seem to be very reliable. Seeing Small Ginseng use some immortal crystals to set up things around the chaos tree and even pile up into mountains, Shadowless couldn't take it anymore and rushed to Small Ginseng and reproached, little thing, did you not hear what boss said? Do you not want to live? The first thing that boss will do after coming out of solitary cultivation will be to roast you. Seeing Small Ginseng use some immortal crystals to set up things around the chaos tree and even pile up into mountains, Shadowless couldn't take it anymore and rushed to Small Ginseng and reproached, little thing, did you not hear what boss said? Do you not want to live? The first thing that boss will do after coming out of solitary cultivation will be to roast you. Small Ginseng looked feebly at Shadowless and said, Big brother, you seem to have gone into a 3 kilometers radius of the chaos tree. I'm teaching you a lesson, did you not hear it? Shadowless was shook. Boss said he would definitely be roasted if he went inside a 3 kilometers radius of the chaos tree, but in front of his henchmen, his tone definitely couldn't be weak. Oh, thanks for reminding me, big brother. When boss comes out, I will tell him what happened. I'll say that I'm helping the chaos tree grow, but big brother didn't trust me and so he came next to the chaos tree. Hearing the latter half of the sentence, Shadowless' eyes immediately changed. He sneered, I just came to remind you, otherwise I would never disobey boss's order. Then Shadowless turned around and murmured, no one took care of the immortal spirit herb garden. A few immortal spirit herbs died. When boss comes out, I will report what happened. Of course I know that big brother has been taking of the immortal spirit herb garden for me and never came next to the chaos tree. Thank you, big brother. Small Ginseng immediately said. Before he finished, Shadowless already appeared at the immortal spirit herb garden. Shadowless suddenly realized that it seemed to be a long journey ahead to control this new little brother. Time flew by and Yimo gradually forgot time in the time formation disc cultivation. He was planning to use void flying snow to fly, but he went into a state of trance and didn't even realize that 7 years had gone by outside. A top-grade immortal range plus a few billion immortal crystals wasn't something a small fragmented extreme-grade Small Ginseng could compare with. Extreme-grade Small Ginseng had denser immortal spirit Kai, but once it was broken, the immortal spirit Kai would disperse really quickly. The cultivation effect wouldn't be better than a complete top-grade immortal range. When the top-grade immortal range cracked and turned into nothing, Yimo finally woke up. He got up and realized that he had spent 700 years in the time formation disk. A complete top-grade immortal range was completely used up. The pills he had prepared before were mostly gone. Even the 4 billion immortal crystals only had 2 billion remain. What shocked him even more was that the complete extreme-grade immortal range was used up little by the spirit-gathering immortal formation. Even though it was only a small portion of the extreme-grade immortal range, it was still so much better than the immortal spirit Kai of the top-grade immortal range. Yimo was speechless. After using all these things in his solitary cultivation, he only just reached into Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary stage. He thought he would be able to barely reach Immortal King Middle stage with 2 Immortal range, but now it seemed he could only reach Great Eternity Immortal Peak stage at most. Yimo felt the powerful immortal essence flowing inside his body. His spirit sense was more complete. The power made him feel safe, but the resources he wasted made his head hurt. In fact, reaching Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary stage from Great Eternity Immortal Primary stage wasn't really fast but wasn't slow either. Some prodigies could reach Immortal King Middle stage with 700 years. The amount of resources he used up was enough to supply a small sect for a few years. He was only at Great Immortal now. Once he reached status Immortal, just how much more resources would he need? Yimo's head ached upon contemplating this. Shadowless needed a lot of resources to progress, but compared to him, it was very little. Thinking about Shadowless, Yimo immediately put away the time formation disc and walked out. He wondered how the two were getting along these years. As soon as Yimo came out, he saw Shadowless sleeping in the Immortal Spirit Herb Garden while Small Ginseng was doing things around the Chaos Tree. However, the Chaos Tree was 15 cms taller. It was around 30 cms tall now. The growth speed was extremely rapid. Yimo was overjoyed. The Chaos Tree had been in his Chaos world for a few years but was only 6 cms taller than before. This growth must be due to Small Ginseng. Boss, your power grew quite a lot. Shadowless immediately crawled up and ran over. Yimo nodded and looked at the Immortal Spirit Herb Garden. The Immortal Spirit Herbs didn't disappear from the garden, right? No. Although Small Ginseng is lazy and gave the job of looking after it to me, I took care of it very well. Even the lowest level Immortal Spirit Herb didn't go missing and they're growing very well. Shadowless immediately said. Boss, you finished solitary cultivation. Small Ginseng's voice scared Shadowless. This little thing was too fast. Yimo looked satisfyingly at Small Ginseng and said, it's probably due to you that the Chaos Tree is growing so fast, right? The Small Ginseng immediately nodded yes. At the primary stage of the Chaos Tree's growth, it doesn't really need Immortal Spirit Kai but Chaos Kai. I set up a formation to draw Chaos Kai over so the Chaos Tree grows really fast. Big brother Shadowless saw I was busy, so he took on helping me look after the Immortal Spirit Herb Garden. Last time Big Brother warned me. How could Shadowless let Small Ginseng say he went near the Chaos Tree? He quickly interrupted and said yes, I saw Small Ginseng was very hard working taking care of the Chaos Tree, so I took care of the Immortal Spirit Herb Garden. Although Shadowless words were conflicting, Yimo didn't care. He cared about how Small Ginseng could draw Chaos Kai over to provide to the Chaos Tree for growth. Before he set up a few spirit gathering formation just so the Chaos Tree could grow, and he used countless immortal crystals, but it didn't do much. However, Small Ginseng had such ability, he really got a treasure. Not bad. Yimo repeated a few times. Yimo walked up to the Chaos Tree. A clearer Kai came, making Yimo feel very refreshed. The bigger the Chaos Tree was, the more clear its effects were. Small Ginseng, I didn't expect you no formation to draw Chaos Tree. I should reward you well. Yimo patted Small Ginseng's head. Small Ginseng quickly said, I've lived at the Small Heaven domain for countless years. I know a lot of natural formations that many spirit items rely on to survive. I slowly created this Chaos Kai gathering formation. Yimo nodded. Very well, you can be responsible for looking after the Chaos Tree. As for your broken arm, I'll think of a way to cure it. Small Ginseng quickly thanked and said, Boss, it's not easy to reattach my arm. Unless there's an Ice Ginseng King the same level as me, my arm wouldn't be able to be repaired. I can forcefully grow out an arm, but that would use up my essence Kai. Then Ice Ginseng King looked at Yimo awkwardly. If the Chaos Tree can grow to 3 meters tall, I can use it to nourish my body. If it grows to 30 meters tall, my arm can recover in half a month. If it's 300 meters tall, my arm would recover in a few seconds. It's this powerful. Shadowless was shocked. He also snuck up next to the chaos tree, but no one said anything. Yimo was truly astonished too. Boss, when the chaos tree grows to 3 meters, you can make it recognize you as master and then move it to your dantian. Then you will live with the heavens and earth and live for all eternity. Ice Ginseng King said. Yimo waved his hand that can wait. If he couldn't vindicate Dao, taking the chaos tree out and spilling its kai was suicide. Stay in here, I'm going out to see where we're at now. Yimo dashed out of the Golden Page world. After coming out of the Golden Page world, Yimo immediately released Spacetime Boat. After coming out of the Golden Page world, Yimo immediately released Spacetime Boat. In the vast universe, the endless void was so much larger than heaven domain voids. Yimo stood before the location disk on the Spacetime Boat speechlessly. It was blank. He just knew he was in the void, he didn't even know which dimension he was. Yimo called out Shadowless and Small Ginseng. These two guys were clueless about this place too. Boss, where are we going now? Shadowless wasn't scared. You can control the Spacetime Boat, remember, if there's a signal on the location disk tell me immediately. I'm going to keep cultivating. Yimo pulled Shadowless over and said. Hearing this, Shadowless was immediately excited. Leave it to me. I can too. Small Ginseng licked its lips and said. Bo, look at your small body. Shadowless kept shaking his head. Yimo waved his hand. You guys can go in and out of the Golden Page world, I'm going inside for solitary cultivation. As for controlling the Spacetime Boat, Shadowless and Small Ginseng can take turns. Then Yimo went inside the Golden Page world. He dragged the extreme grade immortal range before him. He must quickly reach Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage and find a place for Divine Damnation. Once he reached Immortal King Primary Stage, he would immediately go to Low Heaven Domain Gonghua Heaven and set up his sect, attracting the people who ascended from Mo Yu. The Spacetime Boat sped ahead, the two had great fun on the way. Yimo was still in solitary cultivation and he was Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary Stage. There was still some distance before he reached Peak Stage. As for Yi King Pill, he could concoct that whenever he reached Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage. Big brother, it's my turn to control the Spacetime Boat. Small Ginseng saw that Shadowless time was up, but he didn't intend to move aside at all. Shadowless came down from the seat helplessly. He felt he should reset the time Small Ginseng controlled the Spacetime Boat. Each time he gave it to Small Ginseng, this guy would change a direction. However, Small Ginseng wasn't scared of him now. You can control it, but you can't change direction. Big Boss wants to find a heaven domain quickly. If you keep changing direction, we're going to keep wasting time in the void. Shadowless brought up his opinion seriously. Shadowless brother, this is what I wanted to talk to you about too. Each time I choose a direction, I have this premonition, but every time you change my direction away. This way, how long would it take for us to find a small heaven domain? Small Ginseng rebuked. How do you know that the direction I chose isn't special? I have a premonition too, Shadowless said unhappily, but before he finished, he heard Small Ginseng's gasp of amazement. What is it? Shadowless immediately asked. Something appeared on the location disk. Small Ginseng quickly said and then said, we must have found a heaven domain. Shadowless, you control this, I'll call boss. Then Small Ginseng went into Golden Page world without even calling Shadowless big brother. Hearing this, Shadowless didn't notice that Small Ginseng didn't call him big brother and immediately came to the location disk. There was a black figure on the screen. At first it seemed to be moving, but soon it stopped, but there wasn't a void location like boss said. This meant that they were still in the void. Another half a year passed outside the time formation disk. Yimo received Small Ginseng's news. He immediately stopped solitary cultivation and came out. Boss, there's a black shadow on the location disk. Shadowless quickly moved aside. Yimo knew this black shadow wasn't a heaven domain, otherwise it would be marked. Yimo controlled Spacetime Boat to get near that black shadow. 2 hours later, Yimo slowed the boat down. He saw that the location disk outlined an immortal ship. When Space-Time Boat went closer and Yimo was certain it was a real immortal ship, he stopped immediately. He had encountered ghost ship before. Was he this lucky that he encountered another one? Yimo waited a long while and the immortal ship still didn't move. Yimo carefully went closer and this time he saw even clearer. That ship parked eerily in the void and was very similar to the ghost ship he saw last time but was much smaller. Yimo decisively turned the space-time boat and left rapidly. There were too much things between him and Truth Divine Emperor. He didn't want to encounter another ghost ship controlled by Truth Divine Emperor's fragmented soul. Why did this person leave? At the top of the believed ghost ship, a white-robed extremely beautiful woman stared at the huge surveillance screen and asked, "Mistress, should we send someone after him?" An equally beautiful purple-robed female immortal said respectfully. The white-robed woman nodded. "No need, let the immortal ship follow him. We're already lost, since he can appear here, it means he has void map." As soon as Yimo left, he breathed easy. Luckily he noticed early, otherwise if he was sucked over by that immortal ship he would be over. Suddenly, he saw that the black dot on the location disk grew larger and larger. Clearly, it was coming closer to him. Yimo was shocked. He quickly sent Shadowless and Small Ginseng into the Golden Page world while increasing the spacetime boat speed to the maximum. Spacetime boat was low-grade god artifact and was very small. Yet, that immortal ship could keep up with spacetime boat. This was too terrifying. Yimo had really never seen a low-grade god artifact that was this large. What shocked Yimo more was that the ghost ship followed him. He had never heard that a ghost ship would chase someone. Yimo sped up more and finally drew the distance between them, but soon he was lost for words. Although the distance between them was getting larger, he couldn't lose them. Such a powerful flying magic artifact, it's probably a low-grade god artifact. It should be a powerful being who owns such a flying magic artifact. Why did he run as soon as he saw us? The white-robed female immortal frowned. This person seems sneaky, perhaps he had done something bad. The purple-robed female immortal said. The white-robed female immortal smiled. "No matter what he has done, it has nothing to do with us. We just want to know the way. Plus, we're not powerful. If this guy is an immortal monarch, we're no match for him at all. It's all because of that pack of void iron winged bear, otherwise, how can we be forced here?" The purple-robed female immortal complained. "We should feel lucky to be able to escape that many. If our immortal ship isn't fast, we wouldn't even be able to get out." The white-robed female immortal said. Yimo only focused on running, and when a dark veil of void immortal spirit beast pressed over, he realized he was surrounded. Void iron winged bear. Yimo's face went bad. There were void iron winged bears all around. They were already stopped here waiting for him to fall into the trap. There were void iron winged bears all around. They were already stopped here waiting for him to fall into the trap. The void iron winged bears were extremely fast in the void and were also very smart. Their hide was thick and they knew how to fight in an army. Their mouth was sharp like spear, their main talents were flame blades and tearing. Their teeth were like immortal artifact, even an immortal king would lose a piece of flesh after being bitten. If it was just these void iron winged bears, Yimo wouldn't mind too much. He would call out Shadowless and fight his way out. But now, he couldn't, it would draw out time if he was surrounded by them. Then, the ghost ship would catch up. Compared to these void iron winged bears, Yimo was more worried about the ghost ship. However, he didn't have the time to think too much. The void iron winged bears had surrounded over. Yimo released Zishu and shot out lightning sword arcs. These void iron winged bears were all level 4 and above immortal beasts. Some were even level 6 peak stage. Yimo breathed easy. Luckily there weren't level 7 void iron winged bears. If there were, he would have to go into the Golden Page world even if it meant exposing it. Yimo had seen level 7 immortal spirit beast before in the 7 refined tower. After the lightning swords shot out, lightning splashed out in the void as lightning swords rained down. Only now did Yimo found that his lightning sword went from pure black to a sliver of blue. Crack. Grey color splashed everywhere. It was the blood of the void iron winged bears. At the same time, Countless flame blades also swept at Yi Mo. Yi Mo quickly released a defensive cauldron he forged and put away the space-time boat. The octagonal cauldron was still broken. Although he spirit-controlled it, Yi Mo didn't want to use it yet. He wanted to use it after he repaired it. These void iron winged bears were only level 4 to level 6. His level 6 defensive immortal artifact should be enough to stop them for half a day. Mistress, it's the void iron winged bears again. What do we do? The purple-robed girl said shakily. Quickly change direction and open attack restriction. The white-robed female immortal regretted just being focused on the chase and forgetting about the cunning void iron winged bears. Thud thud thud. The densely cluttered flame blades struck Yi Mo's defensive immortal artifact. In just 15 minutes, there were cracks on the immortal artifact. Another 5 minutes later, the immortal artifact shattered completely in a crack. Without it, the endless flame blades soon tore apart Yi Mo's immortal essence and struck Yi Mo's body. Yi Mo frowned. Individual void iron winged bears were nothing, but their combined power was this shocking. Just when he wanted to call out Shadowless to help, he saw that immortal ship appear in his spirit sense. The ship started attacking void iron winged bears, and there were even magic artifact released. Seeing this, Yi Mo knew he had mistaken. This ship wasn't a ghost ship. If he knew this earlier, he wouldn't run and get caught in the void iron winged bears. Knowing that it wasn't ghost ship, Yi Mo didn't dare to call out Shadowless and even warned Shadowless to not come out. He changed his face to a young ordinary face. He couldn't let anyone have any clue of what he did at Small Heaven Domain and Hong Yu Immortal City. Yi Mo didn't plan to run anymore after knowing it wasn't the ghost ship. He focused on fighting these void iron winged bears. He couldn't even be bothered using defensive magic artifact. With his immortal spirit body power, he could fight while practicing body refinement. Yi Mo released waves after waves of dense lightning sword. He also kept hacking out Zishu. Illusion Cloud Domain Kill Strike brought out waves of 1 kilometer long sword rays in the void. From afar, they were like vibrant purple rainbows that were extremely beautiful. In a short time, tens of miles of radius around Yi Mo was filled with sword ray and lightning rays. Patches of void iron winged bears were killed and countless flame blades struck Yi Mo's body. All sorts of wounds piled up on Yi Mo's body, but they quickly repaired under Yi Mo's body refinement cultivation method. Half a day later, Yi Mo didn't know how many void iron winged bears he had killed, but he was still surrounded by them. His body was covered in red. He was surrounded by the endless flame blades. Some void iron winged bears even charged up to Yi Mo, wanting to bite him. Eventually, even those void iron winged bears attacking the immortal ship were drawn over, attacking Yi Mo like crazy. Lightning arcs, sword rays, flame blades, roars mixed up in this void, and the range kept expanding. If this wasn't the void but a place with light, one could see that this entire area was filled with grey blood. Yi Mo was completely immersed in this slaughter. Every time when his immortal essence was about to dry up, he ate a pill, same with when his spirit sense was about to run out. Yi Mo didn't know his pills were rapidly depleting and the pill poison was building up in his body. After those waves of lightning sword shot out, a domain of lightning formed in his mind. He could feel it even in the slaughter that there was this lightning he was about to grasp. At the same time, waves of purple sword ray shot out, forming an area of void around him. He felt he was about to have a new breakthrough. The immortal ship stopped not far ahead. They didn't run. All the people on the ship were dumbfounded. Even the two immortal kings were dazed. Just what sort of person was this? He was this terrifying. He didn't seem to have reached Immortal King yet. There was such a powerful great eternity immortal. Even Immortal King wouldn't be able to do this large area of carnage without domain. That white-robed female immortal looked at Yi Mo in disbelief. She had the feeling that the person in the slaughter was under this special state. Sometimes, she couldn't even feel his presence. Who could have sudden enlightenment in slaughter? But if this wasn't sudden enlightenment, how could he be in that state? So powerful, the purple-robed female immortal breathed after a long while. Just when his lightning sword was about to break through, Yi Mo felt his body suddenly crack, and in a short while, he felt his body increase another level. His body refinement went from immortal spirit body primary stage to middle stage. But then, he lost his sudden enlightenment. His lightning sword was stuck again. Yimo had this itching feeling, he was on the verge of breakthrough but he couldn't. Yimo no longer had the mood to slaughter these void iron winged bears one by one. He punched out, wave kill. With this, the nearby temperature immediately rose up. Before the wave kill even came out, the terrifying heat already swept the surrounding. Rumble. A destructive force was released, there was no confinements here and wave kill spewed out like a horse without reins. The void was lit up by the flame wave. Endless void iron winged bears were defenseless in the wave. Low-level void iron winged bears were instantly disintegrated and higher-level void iron winged bears were killed even if they survived the first wave. The red flame wave was like the violent seas mixed with huge rumbling sounds. After the second wave, the third wave rose out of thin air. After 3 wave kills, Yimo didn't feel his immortal essence run dry, instead he learned the 4th wave kill. Yimo was overjoyed. After 3 wave kills, Yimo didn't feel his immortal essence run dry, instead he learned the 4th wave kill. Yimo was overjoyed. Before wave kill ended, the void iron winged bears loosened up. In a sharp shriek, the endless void iron winged bears retreated. The nearby space cleared up immediately. Yimo breathed easy and didn't use the 4th wave kill. If it was somewhere else, he might try it but here, he didn't dare to. The 3 wave kills didn't completely use up his immortal essence and spirit sense but he didn't know what the 4th wave would do. There was still an immortal ship here. Just when Yimo ate 2 pills, he saw a 100-meter-long figure charge at him. In a petrifying roar, a huge mouth opened up towards Yimo instantly. Yimo felt the confinement of the void. Level 7 void iron winged bears. Yimo saw it clearly. Yimo immediately used tens of spirit sense blades when he felt the pressure and broke free from this squeeze. At the same time, he used mobility technique. Yimo didn't want to fight a level 7 void iron winged bears head-on. The void iron winged bears didn't stop at all after missing. It charged at Yimo again. Clearly, it was furious that Yimo killed this many void iron winged bears. Rumble rumble. 2 huge explosions sounded in the void. Yimo didn't keep using instant transmission, he saw the huge level 7 void iron winged bears stopped by 2 immortal kings. Yimo breathed easy. 1 immortal king might not be a match for the void iron winged bear but 2 were definitely enough to beat it. The 3 clashed in the void and there were terrifying sounds under the explosions of magic. The level 7 void iron winged bear was powerful but it couldn't beat 2 immortal kings combined. In less than 5 minutes, it roared and flapped its huge wings flying away. The rest of the void iron winged bears completely disappeared. Yimo gave himself a clear water spell and cleaned himself before changing into a new set of clothes. Then he came up to the 2 immortal king and saluted with his fists. "Thank you 2 Qianbeis for helping me." One of them was tall, one was short, but they seemed nice. Seeing Yimo come over, the 2 quickly returned the gesture. "Immortal friend, you're too polite. Our mistress is waiting on the ship. If you're willing you can come on and have a seat. If so then sorry for the disturbance." Yimo agreed. He had no sense of direction. Now that he was invited, of course he was going to go in. On the deck, the white-robed female immortal studied Yimo non-stop in amazement. She didn't expect Yimo to really be a Great Eternity Immortal tertiary stage. He wasn't even Great Eternity Immortal peak stage. Yimo looked ordinary and seemed very young. Yet such a Great Eternity Immortal had this powerful crowd attack immortal arts. The purple-robed female immortal pulled the white-robed female immortal. She immediately woke up and quickly said politely, "Luan Xinyin, thank immortal friend for helping us. May I ask what your name is?" If Yimo didn't attract nearly all the attention of the void iron winged bears and used wave kill to scare them off, it would really be hard for their immortal ship to break free. "Goddess Luan, you're too polite. I'm Mo Ying. I was hunting some void flying snow and was taken away by void chaos flow. I lost direction and then I saw your ship. I thought it was the fabled ghost ship so I left immediately," Yimo said. "So that's it. No wonder you turned away immediately after seeing us," Luan Xinyin said with a sliver of disappointment. She didn't expect Yimo to be lost too. After a while, she thought of something and asked, "Brother Mo, have you seen ghost ship before?" Yimo immediately said, "I've heard of it." "Brother Mo, Since you're lost too, why not take out Immortal Ship and we can find a way out together? Although Yi Mo was lost too, but after seeing Yi Mo's terrifying crowd attack ability, Luan Xinyin wanted Yi Mo to join them. Yi Mo knew what she meant, but he didn't have such plans. His space-time boat was no slower than her ship. There was no point in staying here. One, he couldn't cultivate, second, he would be watched by two Immortal King. But before Yi Mo could reply, the Immortal Ship rattled heavily. Before Luan Xinyin went to check, the purple-robed female Immortal said worriedly, "Mistress, we've encountered a huge void chaos flow, we can't come out. Open all the defense restrictions, don't go the opposite direction of the flow, accelerate towards the flow. Uncle Ji and Uncle Ting help control the ship, we must make the ship pass the void chaos flow." Luan Xinyin calmed down quickly and made the decision. Yi Mo approved. Immortal ships would usually avoid large void chaos flow. If one entered the void chaos flow whirlpool, he wouldn't be able to leave forcefully as it might break the Immortal Ship apart. In this situation, one had a sliver of chance only if they followed the chaos flow. Yi Mo knew now wasn't the time to go. This chaos flow seemed very long. After the Immortal Ship drifted for 5 days, the ship stopped. Yi Mo scanned his spirit sense out. The two Immortal Kings and many people on the ship were repairing the restrictions. The ship was heavily damaged, but it didn't disassemble. There's a mark on the location disk. The purple-robed female Immortal rejoiced. Yi Mo immediately wanted to say goodbye, but he stopped his words. He didn't know if his ship would be able to detect a location here. If he left the ship and found there was no mark on his boat, then it would be embarrassing to come back. When Yi Mo came to the deck, Luan Xinyin was already there. Her face looked tired, but she was full of surprise and joy. Brother Mo, fortune and misfortune indeed come together. Life is unpredictable. Luan Xinyin's tone was light. Congratulations, Goddess Luan. Of course, thanks to your ship for finding the way out and bringing me out of the void. Where are we now? How long would it take to get to the nearest heaven domain? Yi Mo smiled. Luan Xinyin didn't mind and answered, "We're about 3 months away from Yu Heaven Domain." "We're truly lucky." Yi Mo rejoiced. He hadn't been here, but he knew his space-time boat would definitely be able to sense the marks here. Yu Heaven was a grand heaven domain. If he used his space-time boat, he might be able to reach Jin Shong Heaven in less than half a year. Brother Mo, Xinyin wants to invite you to Luan Zi Immortal Residence. What do you think? Luan Xinyin looked hopefully at Yi Mo. Luan Xinyin was really observant, and seeing that Yi Mo was about to reject, she smiled sweetly and said, "If we're quick we can make it to the greatest event of the residence." Luan Xinyin was really observant, and seeing that Yi Mo was about to reject, she smiled sweetly and said, "If we're quick we can make it to the greatest event of the residence." "What is it?" Yi Mo subconsciously asked. "Brother Mo, have you not heard of Luan Zi Immortal Residence?" Luan Xinyin asked in confusion, seeing that Yi Mo didn't react at all when she mentioned the place a few times. Yi Mo said with slight embarrassment, "I've always been in solitary cultivation and rarely go out, I've really never heard of it." "No wonder." Luan Xinyin explained, "We're the #1 immortal residence in Yu Heaven. If it wasn't that the leader went out seeking Dao and hasn't returned yet, we would have been an emperor sect already. Even so, we're still one of the 3 great immortal monarch sects of Yu Heaven." Yi Mo guessed this already. Luan Xinyin had 2 immortal kings protecting her and had such high-level immortal ship. There was undoubtedly an emperor sect behind her. Our immortal residence gathers prodigy immortals to hold a flower viewing night. Of course, in actual fact it's to select Dao partners for the excellent female immortals of our residence. The 10 female immortal participating are the most prodigious disciples of our immortal residence. Even the #1 beauty of the immortal residence is participating. Brother Mo, your talent is exceptional. Mistress, you're going to participate too, you're one of the 3 best goddess of the residence. The purple-robed female immortal smiled. Luan Xinyin blushed a little but didn't argue. Yi Mo was already losing interest. A flower viewing night and a Dao partner seeking activity, he didn't have the mood to participate. He saluted with his fists without hesitation. "I'm really sorry, Goddess Luan, I happen to have things to do so I can't go. If I come past the residence next time, I will definitely come to visit. Brother Mo, are you really going to go? Luan Xinyin seemed a little disappointed. She had seen Yi Mo's power with her own eyes. He might be admitted as a Dao partner. Yes, please open the restriction, Goddess Luan. Yi Mo had lost the interest to talk. Luan Xinyin could see Yi Mo's adamance and could only say, then if you have time, remember to come visit the residence. We will always welcome Brother Mo. This is a VIP card of the residence. Luan Xinyin opened the restriction and handed Yi Mo a card. Yi Mo thanked and quickly bid farewell. He released his space-time boat and soon left. Mistress, this Mo Ying is indeed very powerful, but he looks a bit ordinary. The purple-robed female immortal commented. Luan Xinyin shook her head. This person is this terrifying just as a great eternity immortal. His future is boundless. How many great eternity immortals do you see with a low-grade god artifact? Even our immortal ship can't catch up to his boat. It's low-grade god artifact for certain. His wave god artifact makes me feel he has a high-level heaven flame. If this person wants to stay at the residence, he would be so much better than those sect prodigies. Luan Xinyin sighed. Amongst the prodigies I have seen, only Chu Jiuyu who's staying at the residence can compare with him. But even Chu Jiuyu is probably no match for this person. Mistress, will Brother Chu marry into our residence? The purple-robed female immortal asked. Luan Xinyin thought for a moment and said Chu Jiuyu is equally very talented. If he wasn't just an solo cultivator, he might be immortal king now. But this person also has great ambitions. He is very prideful. It's not certain if he would marry into our sect. Yi Mo wouldn't know that Chu Jiuyu was at the Luan Zi immortal residence. He was on his space-time boat checking the heaven domain mark. The nearest heavian domain was indeed Yu heaven, but Yi Mo didn't want to go there. He wanted to go to Jin Shong heaven. He estimated he would need a year or so at max speed. If he went to Yu heaven and took the teleportation formation, he might reach there in less than 3 months, but Yi Mo didn't intend to take the teleportation formation. Yi Mo chose to increase his power immediately. He believed he would reach Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage on the way to Jin Shong heaven. Then, he would go to the Immortal Graveyard and have his Immortal King Divine Damnation. Once he was Immortal King, he would be able to escape even from Immortal Monarch. He didn't dare to have the Immortal King Divine Damnation in the void. It's many times stronger than his previous Divine Damnation. Yi Mo needed to be very careful. If he reached Immortal King, he would be a status immortal. Status immortal was the symbol of long life and power. Yang Zhoutian was definitely an immortal king now. If he was still Great Eternity immortal and encountered Yang Zhoutian, he would be over. Even the Uncle Ji incident made Yi Mo extremely uncomfortable. He could fight on par with Yang Zhoutian, but Yang Zhoutian could run from Uncle Ji while he couldn't. Yang Zhoutian had many means while he was just using a few immortal artifacts he had. There were many immortal kings in the Grand Heaven domain. He would encounter one anywhere. Yi Mo let Shadowless and Small Ginseng control the ship again and told them to go Jin Shong heaven before going into the Golden Page world for solitary cultivation. Half a year passed outside the teleportation formation. Yi Mo felt the roaring immortal essence in his body. The pill poison had already been removed. He felt the power within him. Yi Mo almost wanted to punch to test his power. Yi Mo stood up again. He knew he was Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage. After his Divine Damnation, he would become an Immortal King. Extreme Grade Immortal Range was much better than Top Grade Immortal Range. It was easy to digest and still had around 40% left after he reached Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage. Seeing Yi Mo come out of the Golden Page world, Shadowless and Small Ginseng quickly came around them. Yi Mo checked the map and saw there was just 2 months' journey until Jin Shong heaven. Yi Mo was very happy. Yi Mo didn't take over control. He let Shadowless and Small Ginseng keep controlling the ship while he felt the force of the void before the boat. Calming down and feeling the vastness of the void would be beneficial. Half a month later, Yi Mo felt his power grow more pure. Even his sea of consciousness started expanding. Yi Mo knew that if he cultivating spirit will 9 transformations now, he would be able to break through soon. This day, Yi Mo was trying to use spirit sense to move the asteroids in the void but felt some waves in his spirit sense domain. Someone was coming over and using spirit sense to watch him. This person's spirit sense wave definitely wasn't great immortal. Yimo immediately let Shadowless and Small Ginseng go into the Golden Page world. At the same time, he took control of the space-time boat and hung Zishu on his back. In just tens of seconds, a blue dashing light came. An extremely pretty chariot stopped. An eagle-eyed man stood before the chariot. It was an immortal king tertiary stage. Yimo frowned. This was almost on par with Uncle G. The immortal king clearly kmai for him, but Yimo was worried. This person's flying magic artifact was only extreme grade flying immortal artifact. Space-time boat replicate. The immortal king said with amazement as his eyes lit up. Yimo was going to salute it with his fists, but hearing this greedy tone, Yimo gave up on the thought. Chapter 1798, Difference with Immortal King. Chapter 1798, Difference with Immortal King. What was the immortal pet you put away? However, this immortal king didn't ask about the space-time boat. This person was so rude, Yimo was already annoyed. He casually saluted with his fists. It's just an assistant helping me control the flying immortal artifact, nothing worth mentioning. If you have no business, then I'm going. How dare you? Did I let you go? Why did I detect a strong spirit item here and when I came over, it was gone? Is it the spirit item you put away? The immortal king yelled. Yimo was more annoyed. Did this guy think he was easy to abuse because he was Great Eternity immortal? Bastard, but this reminded him that Small Ginseng can't come out casually. What has my immortal pet got to do with you? Yimo's tone growing angry. Yimo didn't need to suck up to him. Plus, he believed that with his Great Eternity immortal peak stage, even if he can't beat this person he can run away. He didn't get away from Uncle G because he was only a Great Eternity immortal primary stage while Uncle G was immortal king peak stage. Haha, you have balls. The immortal king laughed and grabbed at Yimo. Seeing this guy underestimate him, Yimo wasn't going to waste this opportunity. He released Rainbow and Wave Kill immediately. The force of these two god arts were unparalleled. Sword Ray covered the heavens and instantly tore apart the domain that this immortal king didn't intentionally release and sliced across the void. Instantly, the immortal king realized he underestimated Yimo Splurge. The rainbow hacked onto the hand of the immortal king and blood flew everywhere, but the rainbow kept hacking down without any impediment. The immortal king dashed and broke free from Rainbow's space confinement. However, his hand was hacked in half. Just one move, he was an immortal king tertiary stage and was injured by a Great Eternity immortal peak stage. The immortal king was furious. He ate a pill and ran his immortal essence. His hand healed in the blink of an eye. At the same time, he released a blue spear. Rumble. The long spear attacked later but landed first and smashed Zishu. The rainbow sword ray dispersed and Zishu fell from the void. The powerful immortal essence backlash came and Yimo spat a mouthful of blood. He quickly took back Zishu. Meanwhile, the immortal king domain formed again. It was completely different from before and bound Yimo. Yimo knew that even if he could release 4-wave kill he can't beat this immortal king. The difference was too great. Crack. Yimo released the first wave kill and the domain instantly became weak, but the first wave was used up. When it came before the immortal king, it was worthless. The immortal king tertiary stage was also very shocked. Although he felt he could kill Yimo, it was unimaginable that a Great Eternity immortal was this powerful. Since when was there such terrifying Great Eternity immortal? If this Great Eternity immortal reached Immortal King, what Immortal King could be a match for him? Even as Immortal King primary stage, he would dominate all Immortal Kings. This person must die, otherwise there would be endless repercussions. Thinking about this, the Immortal King's spear turned into a blue sun. Rumble. But before this blue sun attacked Yimo, Yimo's second wave kill came over. This second wave was ferocious Heaven Flame. The Immortal King's eyes narrowed, he saw it clearly. It was Heaven Flame, one that reached Immortal Flame. This Great Eternity immortal not only had low-grade god artifact but also this terrifying flame. His eyes heated even more. He must capture this person alive, he had too many secrets on him. But he knew he must not let the Heaven Flame reach him. Even Immortal King Tertiary Stage wouldn't be able to take it. The blue sun spear extended, turning into a huge blue wall blocking the second wave. Rumble. The two clashed, creating terrifying rays of red and blue. In just a moment's time, the second wave was turned into nothing. Meanwhile, this blue wall retracted rapidly. In less than half a second, the wall turned into a 300-meter-long spear and pierced at where Yi Mo was. As this spear went over, the space around Yi Mo rapidly shrunk, as though when it shrunk to a certain point, Yi Mo would be pierced by that spear. Thud. Void ripples formed. Immortal King couldn't tear open void, but this spear was so powerful that it created ripples. Clearly, this Immortal King only wanted Yi Mo's essence spirit. After the explosion, the Immortal King knew his spear missed. A great eternity immortal actually ran away from him during a fight. How could he bear this? He immediately took his spear and chased over. But even if he made his immortal ship go the fastest, the figure on the location disc kept shrinking until completely disappearing. The Immortal King's face was green, but he didn't give up. He chased over along where Yi Mo fled. He wasn't just going to get revenge. This great eternity immortal had too many secrets. Yi Mo broke a sweat, shaking that Immortal King off. Luckily his experience was ample. After knowing that his wave kill couldn't take an advantage, he didn't release a third wave and used instant transmission to get away instead. It's not that the wave kill can't kill the Immortal King, but his speed of using Immortal Essence was too slow compared to the Immortal King. This Immortal King could annihilate the second wave and kill him before he used the third wave. If his third wave could attack as quickly as the Immortal King, Yi Mo believed he would even have the upper hand. But he knew it was impossible to be faster than this Immortal King under his domain. After this fight, Yi Mo wanted to reach to Immortal King even more desperately. The difference between Immortal King and Great Eternity Immortal was a fundamental difference. He could kill ordinary Great Eternity Immortal Tertiary Stage at Great Extreme Immortal Peak Stage, but at Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage he couldn't beat an Immortal King Tertiary Stage. This was the difference. Yi Mo flew on the space-time boat at max speed. After half a month, Yi Mo called out Shadowless and let Shadowless keep controlling the boat to fly to Jinshong Heaven. Meanwhile, he went into the Golden Page world for pill concoction. He needed Yi King pill to reach Immortal King. Extremely rare prodigies didn't need it to reach Immortal King, but Yi Mo knew that person wasn't him. He had a Pengyu immortal fruit tree. What Yi Mo didn't expect was that in less than 10 years, the fruits had a faint purple color. This is due to the chaos Kai in here. Small Ginseng explained. Half a month later, Yi Mo concocted 5 cauldrons of Yi King pill. Other than a cauldron of top grade, the rest were all special grade. Due to Yi Mo's speed, he arrived at Jinshong Heaven in less than 2 months. He picked a direction and charged at Immortal Graveyard range immediately. A few days later, Yi Mo appeared in the depth of the range before finally putting away the space-time boat. The bleak Kai rushed over, but Yi Mo didn't care. Chapter 1799, Crazy Immortal King Domain. Chapter 1799, Crazy Immortal King Domain. The remaining small half of the extreme grade immortal range was pulled out too. Yi Mo started setting up Spirit Gathering Immortal Formation. Half a day later, a level 6 Spirit Gathering Immortal Formation was set up. The Immortal Spirit Kai nearby immediately became dense. Those bleak Kai sensed Yi Mo's fire element Kai and all retreated. He also set up a level 6 barrier formation, even though he couldn't completely cover his traces, but it was better than nothing. Yi Mo knew this divine damnation wasn't simple. He prepared 100 level 6 immortal artifact and a level 7 shield immortal artifact. It wasn't that Yi Mo couldn't forge level 7 immortal artifact, but that it required too much materials. Yi Mo even prepared octagonal cauldron and How Heaven drum. Of course, Yi Mo didn't want to use it if he didn't have to. When he was surrounded by endless void iron-winged bear, Yi Mo didn't even plan to use How Heaven drum, much less now. The Yi King pills made with purple Peng Yu immortal fruit emitted a faint purple aura. People would feel rejuvenated just by smelling it. Yi Mo took out a Yi King pill and placed it in the center of his hand and started to use 3 birth chant to charge at that barrier. The immortal essence in his body flowed like a great river, but it was still far from that barrier. It couldn't even touch the barrier, much less tear it open. Yimo knew clearly that although he was Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage, his build-up was far from those Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage who had cultivated for countless years. Their immortal essence had built up to a certain degree that if they just had a Yi King pill, they would have much greater chance of breaking through compared to him. But Yimo just reached Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage. His immortal essence and spirit sense was far from as condensed as others. If he didn't have bitter bamboo, it was impossible to try breakthrough to Immortal King after just reaching Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage. It was impossible. Bitter bamboo gave him a stable mind state, but it couldn't give him the build-up. Other people could only keep building up, but Yimo had his own method. He had extreme grade immortal range and more importantly the 3-birth chant. At this moment, that small half of extreme grade immortal range was like being evaporated and gathered towards Yimo quickly. This immortal spirit Kai devouring speed was many hundred times faster than when he was in the Golden Page world. If he had such speed in the Golden Page world, Yimo would have long been Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage. But if he dared to do this in the Golden Page world, he would have exploded already. He ran his 3-birth chant to the extreme just so he could charge at the Immortal King barrier. If he wasn't doing that, this cultivation speed was suicide. If the immortal spirit Kai couldn't turn into immortal essence, it would tear open his meridians. This was why if cultivators failed to break through, then their power would go down. Even if one's immortal essence was ample to the extreme, there needed to be a time for it to settle down. But that wasn't suitable for Yimo. He didn't have time. Even with the time formation disc, he didn't have enough time. Plus, he needed more than just time, he needed to pile up cultivation resources. He spent most of his time looking for resources. When the terrifying immortal essence ravaged in his meridians, Yimo felt some danger. He tried to use his immortal essence to touch the Immortal King barrier, but he was still far from it. 2 days later, the virulent immortal spirit Kai was controlled by the 3-birth chant. Yimo felt his immortal essence calm down and he immediately ate the Yi King pill. With this, Yimo suddenly felt some new enlightenment. Yimo sunk into that enlightenment, forgetting about the charging power that came with the Yi King pill. However, it still gradually let Yimo's power touch the Immortal King barrier. When Yimo felt that barrier, he suddenly shook. Ripples formed in his spirit sense and this indescribable force extended out. This was the primal form of Immortal King domain, Yimo immediately realized. He hadn't even reached Immortal King and he was at this stage. This was so much more powerful than the domain he learned before. Yimo forgot about trying to break through and just kept trying to extend his domain. 2 days passed again. Yimo found he actually formed a complete domain. The barrier-breaking effect of the Yi King pill had passed. Someone else would be very annoyed, but Yimo ate another pill. He didn't use the second pill for breaking through but instead kept using it for enlightenment, stretching his domain. 1, 2, 10, 15. Yimo kept eating Yi King pills and expanding his domain. His Immortal King domain became more and more stable and controlled while getting larger. When there was only 3 pills left in his second bottle, Yimo just realized that he had gone into solitary cultivation in here for a month and he was just consolidating his Immortal King domain. If someone came here now, he would be asking to die. He didn't have much extreme grade immortal range left too. Yimo didn't dare to keep expanding his domain. He ate another Yi King pill and started charging at that barrier. Rumble. Yimo felt his power touch that barrier heavily. Yimo rejoiced, but before he could charge at it again, there were crackles sounding from above him. Yimo knew that what was to come would come. At the same time, darkness spread above him and then 8 golden lightning bolts shot down, illuminating the immortal graveyard range into a golden color. The bleak Kai spread out, but Yimo breathed easy. Luckily there were just 8 bolts, they were thick but he should be fine. But soon Yimo sensed danger and before he could react the 8 bolts changed directions and attacked Yimo from 8 directions. What shocked him even more was that after that they suddenly turned into 72 bolts attacking him from every direction. Yimo released 100 level 6 defense immortal artifacts and 1 level 7 defense immortal artifact. At the same time, Yimo released Zishu and World Rock. Yimo's eyes went red. The divine damnation was set on killing him, but with his great eternity immortal peak stage power and immortal spirit body middle stage, he didn't believe he couldn't beat this divine damnation. From his perspective, there was no meaning in just staying defensive on this. After releasing all of his defense immortal artifact, Yimo suddenly flew up and raised his fists smashed at the 9 golden bolts above his head. Rumble rumble, earth flew everywhere, the ground seemed to have been plowed. Before the lightning above him struck, 9 golden bolts rose out from the earth. Yimo instantly realized there were 81 bolts in this wave. The hidden 9 bolts were the lethal ones. Yimo took in a cold breath. If he didn't fly up to fight the divine damnation in the air, he wouldn't even have time to dodge the 9 bolts from below. Such evil divine damnation. Yimo was extremely furious, but he calmed down instead. He released Octagonal Cauldron immediately. This was the first time Yimo released so many defense immortal artifact. He spirit controlled them all, but he didn't use any god arts. Even with his powerful spirit sense, he felt a struggle. Rumble crack. The divine damnation kept striking Yimo's shield and the world rock while hitting Zishu. Meanwhile, Yimo's fists struck the 9 golden bolts and explosions sounded throughout the immortal graveyard range. Some floating ghosts were instantly annihilated by the spilt lightning bolts. Cracks sounded non-stop and the defense immortal artifacts were falling down in pieces like a hailstorm. Chapter 1800. Who is crazier? Chapter 1800. Who is crazier? Yimo's defense magic artifacts clashed with the golden lightning bolts non-stop. The entire space was shaking due to this dense cluster of lightning. Some bolts were blocked, but some bolts penetrated the defense magic artifact and struck Yimo's body. Blood sprayed. Yimo's bones broke down inch by inch. There was no other way to defend against it. Octagonal Cauldron was a broken extreme-grade immortal artifact, but it was very useful now. It blocked 7 of the 9 bolts from underground. Yimo kicked down on the remaining 2. Splurge, crack. Flesh flew and bones cracked. Even with Yimo's immortal spirit body, he couldn't stop this golden lightning bolt that was thicker than a bucket. The world rock turned into a huge mountain while Zishu turned into a patch of purple sword rays. In a rumble, the world rock was smashed away by the golden lightning and the vibrant purple sword rays couldn't stop the tens of golden lightning bolts. Thud thud thud. After blocking the majority of the bolts, the rest of them struck his body. Thud. Yimo fell to the ground. With such powerful lightning bolts striking him non-stop, even the 3-birth chant can't refine them in time. Yimo's body was a mess. When Yimo was struck into the depth of the earth, he felt it even hard to breathe. If there was just one more bolt, even his essence spirit might be shattered. This divine damnation was trying to kill him. Fury spewed out of Yimo's eyes. Although he couldn't move, he charged at the immortal king barrier like crazy. He knew his divine damnation was different to others. Other people's divine damnation was more terrifying the longer it went on, but the most terrifying part of his divine damnation was the first and second wave. If he survived the first 2 waves and broke through, then the divine damnation later on would be nothing for him. Although he only had 1 breath left, Yimo's body refinement cultivation method still kept running. After devouring these golden lightning's bolts, his body refinement cultivation method kept strengthening his body. Meanwhile, his 3-birth chant used the lightning to charge at the immortal king barrier along with the immortal spirit Kai rumble. Lightning sounded again. The second wave didn't pause at all. It didn't give Yimo any chance for a breather. Seeing that it was about to fall again, Yimo pressed against the immortal king barrier even harder. The sky lit up even more and was about to explode. Yimo knew clearly that if he couldn't reach Immortal King before the second wave, he would have to die. It seemed that this divine damnation had already predestined his death. It was because he prepared so well that he survived for this long. Yimo took out 2 more Yi King pills and ate it. Terrifying immortal spirit Kai instantly filled up Yimo's meridians. The immortal spirit Kai and extremely dense lightning source were almost about to break Yimo's meridians apart. Even his immortal spirit body middle stage could only barely stop this barrage. Suddenly, The immortal spirit Kai supplied by the extreme grade immortal range and the Yi King pill joined up and smashed open the immortal king barrier like a hammer when Yimo's meridians were just about to explode. Crack. It was almost too quiet to hear, but Yimo felt his body go lighter, the stacked up immortal essence and lightning source expanded. It was like water flowing into a larger container. Yimo felt his power rise like crazy. A terrifying power tens of times stronger than Great Eternity immortal peak stage surged up, and this power kept rising. Even his spirit sense started to expand like crazy. This feeling of increase of power made Yimo almost feel he was dreaming. He had gone through breakthrough many times, but never had it been this crazy and clear. The remnant immortal spirit Kai didn't disperse and kept charging at Yimo's body refinement cultivation. The torn meridians healed and the broken legs also repaired. Yimo's body refinement cultivation level increased rapidly. This divine damnation was terrifying to the extreme, but once blocked, the benefits were unimaginable. Yimo felt his power kept being released. His immortal king domain was released, it expanded many times bigger and began to perfect. A terrifying immortal king Kai spread out in the immortal graveyard range. Some yin element immortal spirit beast and ghosts all fled away. This force was too powerful, the divine damnation was too crazy. Yimo felt his body cracked lightly again. The next moment, an even more powerful feeling came. Yimo clenched his fists and slowly got up. He knew that he reached immortal spirit body tertiary stage. Crack, crack, rumble. Explosions sounded above his head. 108 golden bolts of lightning rained down, splitting off into tens of directions, smashing at Yimo. Yimo looked up calmly at these lightning bolts. He didn't even release a single defensive magic artifact this time and just flew up. At the same time, he released lightning sword and punched out. He was going to keep using this golden lightning to increase his power and strengthen his lightning sword. Immortal Graveyard Valley was too distant in Jinshong Heaven, not many people stayed here. Although Yimo's divine damnation commotion was huge, but not many people could feel it. But this didn't mean there weren't any. 2 Great Eternity immortals outside the immortal graveyard range felt this terrifying divine damnation and that almost indiscernible immortal king pressure. A level 6 immortal spirit beast is breaking through to level 7 now? 1 Great Eternity immortal stared in shock. How could there be immortal spirit beast in here breaking through to level 7? The other grey-robed Great Eternity immortal asked in confusion. This is definitely the power of level 7 immortal spirit beast breakthrough. If we don't leave quickly, we would die if that immortal spirit beast spirit sense scans us. The red-robed Great Eternity immortal said seriously. The grey-robed one nodded. Okay, let's go now. The 2 Great Eternity immortals sped off. In the outskirts of Jinshong Heaven Domain Realm, the eagle-eyed man walked around for a long while before finally finding a small void whirlpool and going in. He always stayed in the void and knew about it much more than ordinary people. Soon he passed the realm domain. If Yimo was here, he would recognize this person to be the eagle-eyed immortal king he fought in the void. Yimo didn't expect this guy to chase him to Jinshong Heaven. But his flying ship wasn't as fast as Yimo's low-grade god artifact, and plus he needed to keep searching for Yimo's tracks. That's why he was 1 month behind. If he didn't have a tracking disc, he would have long lost Yimo. You think I can't do anything to you just because you fled to Jinshong Heaven? The eagle-eyed man sneered and kept searching. 5 minutes later, he chose a direction and flew towards it. 7 days later, the immortal king stopped 2 fleeing Great Eternity immortal. These 2 were the 2 who saw Yimo have divine damnation and ran away. Wan Bei greet immortal king master. The grey-robed Great Eternity immortal immediately answered. Have you seen a person like this? The eagle-eyed immortal king casually waved out Yimo's image in the air and asked. Chapter 1801, Invincible in Immortal King. Chapter 1801, Invincible in Immortal King. No, we didn't. The 2 Great Eternity immortals stuttered. Oh. The immortal king waved away the image and asked plainly, I heard you guys talk about some level 7 immortal spirit beast. Where did you see it? The red-robed Great Eternity Immortal saw the Immortal King wasn't too stern and eased up a little. Immortal King Master, we came from Immortal Graveyard Range. We saw a powerful divine damnation there. That's definitely Immortal King or level 7 Immortal Spirit Beast Divine Damnation. Since the place is arid in Immortal Spirit Kai, there's no way people would have divine damnation there, so WN Bay guessed it was level 7 Immortal Spirit Beast. The Immortal King didn't answer and just took out the tracking disc and started searching. Moments later, he put away his disc and looked at the too anxious Great Eternity Immortal. He knew Immortal Graveyard Range of course, and he had been there. Now that there was someone having divine damnation there, it made him think of Yimo. The disc pointed towards the range too, and Yimo was Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage. If it's really that Great Eternity Immortal Peak Stage who fought him, then things was seriously bad. If Yimo reached Immortal King and stabilized his power, then he might even be invincible in Immortal King. Thinking that Yimo might be invincible in Immortal King, he couldn't stay calm anymore. He glanced at the two Great Eternity Immortal and waved two blue lights over. These two were just Great Eternity Immortal Middle Stage and were far too weak compared to Yimo. The two didn't expect it at all and were killed. The Immortal King didn't stop one bit and collected two storage rings and disappeared on his extreme grade Immortal artifact. 2 hours later, a hollow figure came out of the grey-robed Great Eternity Immortal. He looked hatefully at the eagle-eyed Immortal King and said coldly, "If I didn't have a soul protection card, even my essence spirit would be gone. I, Fang Jitsong, swear that I will kill you in my lifetime." Then this essence spirit fled. Yimo released lightning sword that clashed with the thick golden lightning arcs. With such terrifying divine damnation and such terrifying person, no ghost dared to come near. Thud thud. Lightning struck Yimo. These lightning bolts were thick, but after being slowed by Yimo's Immortal King domain, it slowed down immediately. Then when they clashed with the lightning sword, they were further weakened. With Yimo's Immortal King primary stage power and Immortal Spirit Body tertiary stage body refinement, only blood marks were created, no more flesh flying and bones breaking. The golden lightning circulated in the sky non-stop. Yimo's lightning sword was kept being refined. Yimo also devoured these lightning source to strengthen himself. Those blood marks were gone in the blink of an eye. Yimo floated in the air and was surrounded by countless lightning, but his power didn't grow any weaker. Instead, it kept growing stronger and stronger. After 2 waves of lightning, the third wave seemed to have disappeared and didn't fall for a long time. Yimo didn't care and just kept refining his lightning sword and power. Half a day later, the third wave finally came. Only a few blue lightning bolts fell. Yimo didn't even have the interest in devouring them. He just released a few lightning sword and these lightning bolts were crippled instantly. Yimo knew clearly that the remaining divine damnation would have zero threat for him at all, so he started using the 3-birth chant to stabilize his Immortal King state. Yimo guessed that there probably wouldn't be Immortal Spirit Kai Cloud this time. Indeed, after the last lightning bolt, nothing came. After all these divine damnations, Yimo found a rule. If the divine damnation wanted to kill him, there would be no Immortal Spirit Kai Cloud. If the divine damnation didn't want to kill him, there would be Immortal Spirit Kai to help him consolidate power. Yimo was furious, but there was nothing he could do. He even suspected that people took turns in dropping divine damnation. If there was a good guy, he would get normal divine damnation, but if there was a maniac, he would get annihilation divine damnation. Now, all his immortal artifact turned to shambles except Octagonal Cauldron, Zishu, and World Rock. Octagonal Cauldron was already ruined, and after this divine damnation, it went from extreme grade immortal artifact to top grade immortal artifact around level 8 immortal artifact. After putting these things away, Yimo continued to consolidate his power. In a short day, Yimo suddenly woke up. He felt a powerful spirit sense scan his barrier formation. He was familiar with that spirit sense. It was that Immortal King tertiary stage in the void. This guy chased all the way over to the Immortal Graveyard Range. Yimo's killing intent soared. He cleaned himself and got up. The extreme grade Immortal range was used up. Even if he was to stabilize his power, he didn't need to stay at Immortal Graveyard Range. After putting away the formation flag, Yimo noticed that the spirit sense just touched his barrier formation and didn't come over. Yimo was now Immortal King. He wasn't going to be scared of an Immortal King tertiary stage. He released his space-time boat and chased over without hesitation. That Immortal King tertiary stage saw that the Immortal Graveyard range had calmed down. There was no more divine damnation. He immediately knew there was two possibilities. One was Yimo failed his divine damnation, the second was Yimo was recovering his power. He was certain that the one having divine damnation was the GIT who fought him. He was in hesitation. He didn't know if he should go over anymore. If Yimo was still in divine damnation, then it would be perfect to go over. No matter if Yimo succeeded or failed, after divine damnation was his weakest moment. But now that the divine damnation finished, he was worried that if Yimo succeeded, then with his terrifying power, even he was no match. Just this slight hesitation and Yimo's spacetime boat was nearing him. The Immortal King's face changed and subconsciously wanted to run, but then he released his blue spear. No matter how ferocious Yimo was, he just reached Immortal King. Meanwhile, he was Immortal King tertiary stage and refined his immortal essence for 100,000 years. How could he be afraid of an Immortal King primary stage who hasn't even stabilized his power yet? In a short while spacetime boat came before the Immortal King tertiary stage. You're very persistent, you chased all the way from the void to here. Since you want to fight so much, I, the king, will fight with you. Yimo felt very satisfied. He could call himself king in front of this guy who always called himself king. I'm King Huijing, Yu Heaven Wing Demon Sword Sect Immortal King Elder. It's outside my expectation that you can reach Immortal King. Seeing that you're Immortal King, I won't have to fight you as long as you give me half of the spirit item before. Of course, I won't take it for free, I'll pay some immortal crystals. Huijing already wanted to retreat. He was threatening Yimo, but his tone started to weaken. Yimo's force was overwhelming now. He couldn't control his Immortal King Kai yet completely. Wing Demon Sword Sect was an immortal monarch sect. Yimo sneered. Wing Demon Sword Sect, I've never heard of it. But I don't want to show you my things. What are you going to do? Huijing's face changed. One only dared to say he never heard of such a sect if his own sect was much larger, or he really never heard of it. Huijing didn't believe that Yimo hadn't heard of it. Wing Demon Sword Set was so famous, there was no way a Great Eternity Immortal Peak stage hadn't heard of it. Huijing already regretted. Clearly threats were useless. When Yimo was only Great Eternity Immortal, he dared to challenge an Immortal King tertiary stage. Now that Yimo was Immortal King, how could he be scared? In that case, goodbye. Huijing eventually didn't fight. He felt he was no match for Yimo. You wanted to fight and chase me, I was fine with it, but now that you want to go, it's not up to you. Then Yimo released his fist god art, Void. Chapter 1802, Send Pill Before Leaving. Chapter 1802, Send Pill Before Leaving. Huijing knew Yimo's means. As soon as Yimo punched, his blue spear morphed out. In his impression, Yimo's strongest punch was that wave kill. But when his blue spear morphed, he felt things weren't right. This punch wasn't some flame wave, it swept the lethal force of a few 100-kilometer radius into a lethal force whirlpool. The destructive Kai in the whirlpool made his heart shiver. Huijing's long spear didn't stop at all and brought a 300-meter-long blue light piercing at the whirlpool. At the same time, he knew that he thought right. When Yimo reached Immortal King, he was no match for him at all. The powerful space pressure came. Huijing felt his Immortal King domain pause and instantly get compressed. The next moment, he was more horrified. He had been through countless battles and knew this was Yimo's Immortal King domain, but he had never expected someone who just reached Immortal King to have a far stronger Immortal King domain than him. Before Yimo had Immortal King domain, he could suppress him, but now that Yimo's domain was far stronger than his, Yimo could easily suppress him. Thinking about this, Huijing wanted to run away. Rumble. Void punch lethal force whirlpool clashed with the long spear, scattering earth all over the place. Huijing spat a mouthful of blood and flew back, but the lethal force wasn't completely negated by the blue spear. After retreating tens of kilometers, it still arrived. Thud. Just when the force was about to strike him, Jing burned immortal essence and dodged it. Yimo's fist struck the sturdy ground and pebbles flew around everywhere. A huge fist mark formed on the sturdy ground. Jing spat another mouthful of blood. He felt weak after burning large amounts of immortal essence. He knew he was far from a match for Yimo. If it wasn't that Yimo wasn't familiar with controlling Immortal King Domain, that attack would have killed him. Yimo wasn't familiar with Immortal King Domain indeed, but he was experienced in battle and immediately realized what was going on. The next moment, he completely expanded his domain and controlled this region of space. Jing took out a transmission rune. If he didn't leave now, he wouldn't get the chance to anymore. Just when he released it, he heard a light crack. Jing was shocked. He knew he was completely in Yimo's domain while his domain was melted. Stop, Jing called out crazily, but he only spoke one word and a purple rainbow sliced over. There was despair in his eyes. He was an Immortal King tertiary stage but was killed, but a newly risen Immortal King. He regretted, if he fought with his life from the start, he might have a sliver of chance of escape. Yimo was so powerful already after just reaching Immortal King. Once he stabilized his power, which Immortal King would be a match for him? This was definitely invincibility amongst Immortal King. When blood mist sprayed, a dragon horse-like immortal spirit beast appeared and suddenly ate his essence spirit. A month later, a blue-robed Great Eternity Immortal Primary Stage walked out of the Immortal Graveyard Range. Then he got on a top-grade flying Immortal Artifact and left rapidly. This was Yimo, who had consolidated his power. He didn't hide his face this time as he was going to use Ren Immortal Residence. He got a good extreme-grade Immortal Artifact Spear from the Immortal King. The spear was blue and had great offensive and defensive capabilities. That extreme-grade flying Immortal Artifact was also pretty good, but the storage ring only had ordinary things. Other than large amounts of void secret silver, there was only 200 million top-grade Immortal Crystals. There were large amounts of supplementary herbs for Monarch Will Pill but not the main ingredient. He also got 1000 extreme-grade Immortal Crystals. They were rare like extreme-grade Spirit Stones in the cultivation realm. Extreme-grade Immortal Crystals were used to set up high-level formations and power flying Immortal Artifact as well as puppets. Ren Immortal Residence was only a very ordinary residence in Jin Shong Heaven. Yimo stood outside it right now. He felt the place wasn't bad. It was on par with some immortal cities in the Middle Heaven domains. Qian Bei, please stop here. This is Ren Immortal Residence region. One abstruse immortal tertiary stage stopped Yimo and saluted with his fists politely. Yimo said, I was invited over by Ren Fu and Chu Kai before the abstruse immortal answered. 2 people flew over already. It was Ren Fu and Hongling brother Yi. I really didn't expect you to come here. Ren Fu said enjoy, and so was Hongling moments later. Chu Kai and Ren Lejin came too, but Yimo felt there was some hesitation and sadness in Ren Fu's eyes. Chu Kai and Ren Lejin were also overjoyed that Yimo came. The 5 went inside together and told each other of their experiences after parting. Chu Kai and Ren Lejin traveled in Qing Wei Heaven for 2 years and came back to Jin Shong Heaven. Both of their cultivation level progressed. Yimo didn't say what happened to him and neither did they ask. There were quite a lot of rooms here. Yimo was experienced in formation and could immediately tell they were divided into regions. Some regions had ample Immortal Spirit Kai, some had arid Immortal Spirit Kai. Yimo thought Ren Fu had great status in here and would have the best place, but after coming to her cultivation home, Yimo realized that she stayed at the palace with the worst Immortal Spirit Kai. Yimo didn't ask, but Ren Fu already knew. Yimo realized. After they sat down, Ren Lejin helped pour a few cups of Immortal Spirit Kai tea. Ren Fu set up restriction before saying, Brother Yi, thank you for helping Lejin and Chu Kai. Yimo waved his hand, no big deal. Ren Lejin said, Brother Yi, if we weren't waiting for you we would have already left. Ren Fu sighed. 3 years ago, the old residence leader died when he went out. The old residence leader wanted me to succeed his position, but I felt my power was too weak, so I had no intentions of doing so. But other people think I'm a hypocrite and keep suppressing me. Hongling said, Martial sister Ren probably would have long left if I didn't insist on staying here to wait for you. Yimo realized why Ren Fu's place was so bad, so he asked, then what plans do you have now? I don't know. After you go, we'll be leaving here. Ren Fu really didn't know where to go. Yimo thought for a moment and said, I came this time to invite Hong Ling to help me go to Longyu Immortal Mountain. My sister Li Kuan is at Longyu Immortal Mountain. Hong Ling immediately got up and said, Martial brother Yi, you have something to give to your sister? Leave it to me. Yimo nodded, yes, I have a bottle of Yi King pill, help me bring it to my sister. She will know what to do. Yimo had 8 pills inside the bottle. He put so much in because Li Kuan would be giving the rest to Ji Shu, Qi Baitsang, and them. Hong Ling took the bottle shakily. Such pill was precious to everyone and Yimo gave her such pills. This was trust. Everyone else looked dazedly at the bottle. Yimo knew what they thought and took out 4 more bottles. There are 2 Yi King pills each in the bottles. Take 1 bottle each. Ren Lijin was the first to open the bottle. She called out in shock, special grade Yi King pill and top grade Yi King pill. Chu Kai immediately remembered that Yimo said he would give compensation for taking that pill cauldron. He looked at Yimo in disbelief and asked, Brother Yi, you're an immortal pill grandmaster? Yimo nodded. Martial brother Yi, where are you going? Hong Ling wanted to go find Yimo as soon as she reached Immortal King. I'm going to Gonghua Heaven. I ascended from Luo Yu continent. Many of my friends will be going Gonghua Heaven after ascending. I will meet up with them. Yimo said. Chu Kai got up immediately and said, Brother Yi, after we reach Immortal King, we will go find you at Gonghua Heaven. Chapter 1803, Outside Qingmo City. Chapter 1803, Outside Qingmo City there were 3 Immortal King tablets in the 33 heavens of the Immortal Realm. The first tablet was in Grand Heaven Domain, Fen Du Heaven. The second was at Middle Heaven Domain, Yuanla Heaven. The third was at Low Heaven Domain, Mo Yi Heaven. However, they all displayed the same content. In the Immortal Realm, only status immortal had high status and enjoy the longevity of life in the Immortal Realm. Each new Immortal King would get a title. One didn't name his own title, nor did someone give it to him. The Immortal King tablet would show it automatically. When a great eternity immortal reached Immortal King, he would get a chance to earn a title. You needed to go to Immortal King tablet. Usually, Immortal Kings would go to the Immortal King tablet and mark his name immediately after breaking through. Then, the tablet would show his Immortal King title. Only an Immortal King who accepted the title from the tablet would be taken care of by the Immortal Realm and benefit from the Immortal Realm's fortune. In big sects and families, when someone reached Immortal King, there would be a large area of auspicious worldly phenomenon, far beyond ordinary Immortal King. Some would even shake up the entire heaven domain. The Immortal King tablet grew out itself since the Immortal Realm was divided. It said that in the ancient times, Immortal King didn't deserve titles, only an Immortal Emperor deserved a title. Usually, the title was given by the realm the instant one became an Immortal Emperor. Ever since the Immortal Realm divided into the 33 heaven domains, the Immortal King title would be given by the tablet and it wouldn't change even if one reached Immortal Emperor. Later on, when the heaven domains were individually united, there would be an Immortal King tablet visit every 1,000 years. Yimo never knew about this as he never had any deep conversations with any Immortal King and he usually cultivated on his own. After he reached Immortal King, there wasn't even Immortal Spirit Kai Cloud, much less worldly phenomena. Thus no one knew. Hua Jing was hesitant on leaving before because he wasn't sure if Yimo reached Immortal King. Even the weakest Immortal King would have some phenomena. Yimo knew Immortal King had titles. He had always thought you gave yourself a title. As for thinking of his own title, he felt it was too troublesome. If he knew about the Immortal King tablet, he might go get himself a title. But now he had left Jin Shong Heaven and was flying in the void again. With his low-grade god artifact, it would take about 5 years to get to Middle Heaven Domain. This was because the space-time boat had a location disk, otherwise, he might be flying for 5 decades or 5 centuries and not find his way. The location disk was worth more than the space-time boat itself. In the vast void, no one dared to come without having a location mark except for Immortal Monarch and Immortal Emperor. Even Immortal Monarch could possibly die in the vast void. Low-grade god artifact speed was near the top in the immortal realm, but Yimo still felt he needed a faster flying magic artifact. If he had the real space-time boat, he might reach Middle Heaven Domain in just a month or less. But now, he had to waste time in the void. Yimo gave the space-time boat to Shadowless and Small Ginseng to control while he practiced the fourth wave of wave kill in the Golden Page world. Then, Yimo almost used up all the immortal spirit herb and materials he could. His forgery skills increased another level, but even so, he couldn't completely repair Octagonal Cauldron. This was because Octagonal Cauldron was missing a lid, and second, it required materials that were too high level. Although Yimo was near level 9 immortal artifact forgery ability, but he still couldn't forge extreme grade immortal artifact that was beyond level 9. Small Ginseng and Shadowless controlled the space-time boat non-stop. Both of them didn't want to rest. They were competing who could go faster. Since there was no immortal spirit beast stopping Tem on the way as well, they reached Middle Heaven Domain in just about 4 years. The first place he went to was Zone Pro Heaven. He wanted to see if Zhen Bingyu was here. If she was, he would ask if she wanted to leave. Qingmo Immortal City. When Yimo was here with Zhen Bingyu, it was a very big city, one of the 10 greatest immortal cities of Zone Pro Heaven. But after a few decades, it was all gone. It was wilderness everywhere. This place was surrounded with demonic immortal spirit beasts in a few thousand-kilometer radius. The restrictions on the city were tattered. Yimo could still see Ping Ju Immortal King repairing the restriction non-stop. The immortals fighting with the demonic immortal spirit beast were clearly fatigued. Yimo sighed. He didn't expect demonic immortal spirit beast reproduced this quickly. They were already outside the city now. By the looks of it, this city would be wiped clean in a year or so. Yimo counted. There were more demonic immortal spirit beast than void iron winged bears he saw last time. There were ones ranging from level 2 to level 7. Level 7 was equivalent to ordinary immortal king power. Thinking about how there was only Ping Ju Immortal King here, Yimo sighed. Thinking about Ping Ju Immortal King, Kai Feng Immortal King and Su Huan Immortal King's attitude towards him at Yuan La Heaven, Yimo felt grateful. They were suspicious of him, but they stood up for him without hesitation. Kai Feng Immortal King gave him an old map letting him find that ancient ruin where he got a level 9 immortal spirit beast core and a huge refined star rock. Yimo wasn't going to watch. Zhen Bingyu might even be inside. A few demonic immortal spirit beast already flew over while Yimo was in contemplation. Yimo waved a few lightning sword and those level 5 demonic immortal spirit beast that could have easily killed him before were turned to dust. The other demonic immortal spirit beast saw Yimo and immediately rushed over. Yimo took out Hongling's mask and turned into an ordinary young immortal king. He would go see Ping Ju Immortal King soon. If people who knew him saw he reached Immortal King in such a short time, it would cause unnecessary trouble. Yimo's Zishu changed greatly and he didn't worry people would recognize it. Zishu brought out a 3 kilometers long purple sword ray and reaped large patches of demonic immortal spirit beast. Yimo sighed. It would be best to call out Shadowless now, but he couldn't expose Shadowless. In one move, Yimo slaughtered more than 10,000 demonic immortal spirit beast, but Yimo shook his head. This was too slow. If he went on with this speed, he didn't know how long it would take to kill all these demonic immortal spirit beasts. The next moment, Yimo waved his hands and 4 blue suns with 4 golden bands rose in the air. This was Heaven Flame 9 suns. Yimo could use 5 suns now, but it was too exhausting, so he only used 4. Chapter 1804. Yimo is back. Chapter 1804. Yimo is back with the 4 blue suns rising. Terrifying blue rays swept past the entire place. These blue rays with a destructive searing kai didn't allow a single demonic immortal spirit beast to live. Large areas of demonic immortal spirit beast fell while this blue sun expanded slowly from tens of kilometer to hundreds of kilometer. Yimo could expand it bigger, but he stopped. The larger it was, the more consuming it was. He charged amidst the demonic immortal spirit beast and they were blown down like the wind. It was much easier to move around than expanding the Heaven Flame 9 suns. Help has arrived. Everyone on the city walls saw what was happening outside. Then they were dazed. 4 blue suns moved around the city. Demonic immortal spirit beast that stretched beyond the edge of spirit sense fell down in large areas. This was like a howling wind blowing past, not leaving any behind. What reinforcement was this? It was too powerful, too scary. No one had seen such terrifying magic. This wasn't magic anymore, it was a heavenly disaster. In just 5 minutes, all the demonic immortal spirit beast nearby rustled. Many of them gave up attacking the city and came to attack Yimo. This saved Yimo large amounts of immortal essence. He didn't even need to move around and could kill large amounts of demonic immortal spirit beast. Demonic immortal spirit beast were scared of lightning and fire element magic, much less heaven flame 9 suns that powered by immortal heaven flame. The 2 level 7 demonic immortal spirit beasts were dizzy under the sun, but they had powerful resistance. Their offensive power lowered by more than half, but they still attacked Yimo together. Yimo didn't pull of Zishu but instead used wave kill. With wave kill, all the nearby air was burnt up, forming voids. Rumble. The first wave struck the 2 demonic immortal spirit beast, making them shriek in pain. Yimo shook his head. If he used Zishu now he could easily kill the 2, but he didn't. The second and third wave charged out and instantly killed the 2 demonic immortal spirit beasts. Before the beast cores could melt, Yimo waved over the 2 level 7 beast cores. Now, Yimo felt his power. Before, he would feel a lack of spirit sense or immortal essence when he used Heaven Flame 9 Suns or Wave Kill. But now his immortal essence and spirit sense was barely used. As more and more demonic immortal spirit beast were killed, Yimo killed some more level 7 demonic immortal spirit beast. Most demonic immortal spirit beast were chaotic. One level 7 demonic immortal spirit beast couldn't take the heaven flame anymore and turned to run. The rest of the demonic immortal spirit beast all turned to run. With this, the demonic immortal spirit beast army immediately began to cripple. They all retreated towards Zone Pro plains. Yimo didn't go in the city and chased over instead. It was the perfect time to kill these demonic immortal spirit beast as they were grouped up. Yimo didn't hold back now. A 5th sun rose and a 1,000-kilometer radius was covered all under the sun. In a short while, the demonic immortal spirit beasts depleted rapidly. Only now did Yimo feel some pressure for immortal essence and spirit sense, but he didn't give up and chased over. The demonic immortal spirit beast he killed piled up in mountains. When Yimo chased the demonic immortal spirit beasts away, the people of the city started rejoicing. The city doors were open and hundreds of thousands of immortals charged out to attack the remnant demonic immortal spirit beast. More people were collecting the beast cores. If they picked all these up it would be a huge fortune, but unfortunately, most of them have melted. A blue-robed, extremely beautiful woman looked at Yimo's figure. Her lips were shaky. There was a sliver of joy in her eyes. This was Zhen Bingyu. After Yimo left, she stayed in the city to cultivate. She was now Great Unity Immortal Primary Stage peak, one step away from Great Unity Immortal Middle Stage. She knew Yimo, she recognized Heaven Flame 9 Suns. When Yimo released the 4 blue golden-rimmed suns, Zhen Bingyu knew Yimo was back. She knew Yimo's cultivation speed, so she didn't doubt it at all that Yimo reached Immortal King. Yimo came here clearly to take her away. She didn't need to be scared anymore or rely on other people. Most immortals went out to slaughter demonic immortal spirit beasts. Zhen Bingyu didn't hesitate as well. She charged out not to kill demonic immortal spirit beasts but to chase Yimo. After experiencing sect annihilation, the times with Yimo and her solitude in the city, she was no longer the Zhen Bingyu who only sought Dao. During these years, if she wasn't looked after by Su Huan Immortal King and Ping Ju Immortal King, she would have been long gone. She was such a beautiful woman. If she stayed in the city alone without any support, how could anything good happen? But Su Huan Immortal King had to leave to defend against demonic immortal spirit beast. Ping Ju Immortal King couldn't even manage the city business, much less her. Young city lord, should we stop her? 2 men were staring at Zhen Bingyu. It was a Great Unity Immortal Primary Stage who spoke. A Great Eternity Immortal Primary Stage stood next to him. The Great Eternity Immortal Primary Stage was good-looking but seemed bleak. He waved his hand. No need, she's just going down to kill demonic immortal spirit beast and her clothes is marked by Auntie. She can't run away, plus I hope she would run. Otherwise, with Ping Ju immortal king here, it's hard to attack. A beautiful middle-aged woman came over and said quietly to this great eternity immortal primary stage young city lord. Elder Ming said it's an extremely powerful immortal king who came to support the city. He told you not to say much at this time. The great eternity immortal waved his hand. I know this. I've already investigated this Zhen Bingyu. She came from low heaven domain and has no support here. She came with an abstruse immortal and that abstruse immortal never came out after going in Yuan La Heaven Dao Seeking Tower. Su Huan and Ping Ju immortal king are helping her due to that abstruse immortal, otherwise, I would have made a move already. After the disaster, Ping Ju immortal king would greet that Qian Bei, he wouldn't be able to mind her. I can take her away then. The young city lord laughed. Zhen Bingyu is my greatest find this time. I thought I would need to stay longer but this Qian Bei helped me. Young city lord, not good. The great unity immortal suddenly said. Auntie, he stop her. The great eternity immortal primary stage also noticed that Zhen Bingyu didn't join the teams for slaying demonic immortal spirit beast and instead chased towards that immortal king Qian Bei. He didn't expect she was this bold. Immortal kings were high up no matter where it was. If ordinary immortals dared to go up to them without being invited, it was asking to die. A purple sword rays sliced over and the last level 7 demonic immortal spirit beast was killed. Yimo stopped. His spirit sense scanned that Zhen Bingyu chased over. He almost killed all the demonic immortal spirit beast that surrounded the city this time. There was no point in chasing anymore. You're tuning in to the Celestial War YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.